Racing on Rogers TV. Thanks for joining us on what is a hot, humid, cloudy, overcast, and potentially rainy evening here at the half mile. Chris Soares and Kyle Friel. Kyle, we got the stocks in the lineup tonight.
That's right. Bone stock, V8 stock, Superstock, and the famous King of the Hill tonight. So it's going to be a action-packed night of racing. Hopefully the Mother Nature holds off for us here.
Yeah, 2 of the 4 divisions can actually run in the rain, the Bone Stocks and King of the Hill, but I'm not quite sure people want to run in the rain for King of the Hill. Let's check downstairs with the third member of our team, Kate Friel. Kate?
Hi guys, it's a great night here at Delaware Speedway. It was hot when we got here. The rain's cooled things off a little bit. Drivers getting into their car, but the heat will be a factor possibly tonight for some of these drivers. Hopefully they can stay hydrated. Back upstairs.
All right, so we have some standings here for you, and we'll start with the Bone Stock standings. On your screen, Jeremiah Rabideau leads by 5. The front 2 trying to get away. Matty Langford there as well. The front 2, good cushion there by about 13 points.
Yeah, Justin Culver in third. He had a good showing last week, winning the B main and having a good run in the A main as well. And then it's Donovan Clark and then the 33 BT of Paul Fothergill rounding out the top 5, Chris.
V8 standings now. And Dougie Stewart out front by 7 over a combination of drivers for Watson Motorsports in second spot. Jordan Morris right now in a tight battle with Jeff Ferguson for the third spot.
Yeah, that's right. 2 points separating Ferguson and Morris. Caden Patrick sitting 26 points behind the leader, rounding out the top 5. And then through the top 10, you got Lucas Orr, Kara Martin, Adam Everson, Chad Clutterbuck, and Dave Everson as well.
Superstock standings now. They'll be our third feature tonight. Carson Nagy, Trevor Culver still battling. That's a 2-horse race right now.
Yeah, that's right. They're top of the field right now because Lane Zardo in the 36Z is sitting 20 points behind them. And then it's Ryan Dyson in the 28 machine, 21 points. 30 points for the 39 of David McCullough, Andrew Ferreira, Darrell Lake, Brody Rickwood, Pete Vanderwitz Jr., and Justin Cullison rounding out the top 10 of that standings.
Yeah, 3 distinct battles right there. Battle for first, battle for third, and then the rest of the field in the standings. We're getting set for stock night here at Delaware Speedway. They are currently drying the track. We had a little bit of a shower about 25 minutes ago, so track drying conditions are almost wrapping up. They've done the anthem here. When we come back, we'll get into some racing with the Bone Stock at Delaware Speedway Racing here at Rogers TV, presented by Ray Cullen Chevrolet.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Ray Cullen Chevrolet. Ray saves you money and that's the key on Chevy, Buick, GMC. Ray Cullen Chevrolet. You should drive by Ray today.
Today, I helped a senior find transportation to an important medical appointment.
Today, I helped a new mom find virtual programming so she didn't feel so isolated.
Today, I helped someone understand new government supports.
Every day, 211 navigators connect Canadians to critical government and community programs and services.
211. Help starts here.
Welcome back to Delaware Speedway Racing on Rogers TV. Chris Soares, Kyle Friel, top of the tower. We have our first interview of the night downstairs. Let's go to Kate.
28 car on the car, but 25 is the number they'll be running for the Bone Stocks tonight. Earlier today, he did practice his 78 car during practice. So, Joe, why were you out practicing the other car?
Well, we just brought the APC car out. They got a rule that you can't practice at the track a week prior, so we just wouldn't be able to make it out for their Monday night program. So I figured let's just do a quick turnaround and get a couple laps here tonight just to any little bit of track time helps a lot, especially when you can take it home and just really look it over and review it. It's a good opportunity. So I got to thank all my guys for coming out and just, a short time at the track, but it's worth a lot in the long run.
Yeah, and that car did look fast when I was looking at some of those practice times, so you have to be happy with that. How happy are you with the bone stock tonight?
Well, we're going to see here in the heat race. We didn't practice it at all, just unloaded it off the trailer a little bit ago, I think, and, we'll go full send on it.
Well, Joe, I wish you all the luck with going full send on that car. Now I know that you guys were working on some cars this week while they were in the shop. Do you know anything about that as well?
I know Chris had a busy week for himself, so as a loving brother, I usually just give him his space and wait to hear from him later on. So I think Sarah asked for me to run a bone stock, so I didn't have to ask at all. And then Chris messaged me yesterday and said we're good to go, so here we are.
Yeah, this BT Racing crew did build a car in 4 days, so we'll see that car later on tonight. Back up to you guys upstairs.
Thank you, Kate. And like you mentioned off the top of the show, Kyle, it's hot, it's humid, it's been like this all week. What's that do for the track?
Yeah, it's going to heat up the track, obviously, and it's going to kind of maybe get a little slicker out there. So, like you mentioned, for the bone stocks, it's not bad because they got the normal street tires out there, so the grip's not going to change a bit. It's the tires that are on the other divisions that kind of might make it a difference out here, as we are now out for heat race number 1.
Yeah, we'll start with the bone stocks tonight here at the Delaware Speedway. It is stock night, bone stocks, V8 stocks, and super stocks, and the spectators race King of the Hill. Seems like when I'm away for a week, every time I come back, it's King of the Hill.
Yeah, King of the Hill is, if you've never seen it or heard of what King of the Hill is, it's literally, you literally come to the track in whatever car you drove, and you pay a fee to charity, and then it's you put one lap to try and get it, and if you win, you stay in. If you lose, you're out. So it's going to be fun tonight, and then we get ready here. Still under caution here. It's going to be bone stock heat race number 1. Field is going to be the 06 of Sarah Wheel, and then it's the 22P of Miss Penny, 23 of Jesse Howard, the 24 of John Clausen, 27 of Tori Robinson, the 40 of Jason Craig, the 50 of Joey Langdon, the 51 of Tom Hughes, 54 Trent Vanderwitz, Gary Triska in the 56, the 57 of Nathan Rea, the 59 of Cassie Howard, the 93R of Race Meyer, then it's the 97 of Jesse Herzl, and the 99 of Chad Prue is this field here for bone stock heat race number 1, Chris.
Yeah, we're going to go 10 laps here with both heat races in the bone stock. Actually, all heat races, I believe, are going to be 10 laps in all 3 divisions, and we'll see if we get the white flag this time by. We will not. We have Scott Mackey in the flag stand with us again this evening. As we're awaiting the white flag, the field is doubled up. The breeze is picked up here, so that'll help. The track is dry, obviously, with race cars back on the track. And as Kyle mentioned, the bone stock's using regular rubber, not the racing flat spot tires that we'll see with the V8 stocks and the super stocks tonight. So I think the white flag might be displayed this time by. We'll have to wait and see as the Delaware Speedway pace vehicle parades the field back around. And if you're new to Delaware Speedway, I mention this every week, but we get new viewers every week. Egg-shaped track, half-mile, egg-shaped. The distance between turns 1 and 2 shorter than the distance between turns 3 and 4. Some drivers like to set up their car to turn well in turns 1 and 2 and get a good launch down the backstretch. Other drivers like good horsepower through 3 and 4 to keep the gas mashed through turns 3 and 4 to make a run to the stripe.
It's getting word it's going to be 1 to go at the next time by the line, and we're going to get to green flag racing here. Conditions have improved, as you mentioned off the top of the show, Chris. A little bit of precipitation coming through the area, but we should be to to green flag racing here momentarily. Again, as we got time, thank you everybody that's tuning in on Rogers TV to another Friday night here, Delaware Speedway Racing, and as always brought to you by the Ray Cullen Chevrolet Group. Thanks a lot for taking on that sponsorship for us and helping us out with that.
Yeah, thanks for covering for me last week. You guys did a fantastic job. Lots of positive feedback on social media and through emails through Rogers TV, so appreciate the feedback. Remember, we're all volunteers, 99% of us, that is, volunteers, and we appreciate the feedback, and it's been very positive, so thank you so much. Obviously, you're more than welcome to do some volunteering with Rogers TV if you'd like. Rogers TV does a bunch of different programming and stuff like that. So we're set to go for the Bone Stock Heat Race number 1. Sarah Wheel will bring them to the line. They'll go to the restart zone. There's that yellow marking on the inside wall. There's the two red stripes. Restart. We're going here. Racing at Delaware Speedway on the Friday night for the Bone Stocks. And the field will go into turns 1 and through already 3 and 4 wide. And a quick jump on the high side. There's the 22 behind the 51, Tom Hughes and Miss Penny. Miss Penny falling through the field right now. Tom Hughes remains in the second spot, but the leader out front, the 93, Race Meyer, off to a fantastic start, Kyle, and the rest of the field.
Yeah, Race Meyer had a very good start on the green flag. He's, I would say, a good 15, 20, even 25 car lengths ahead of the 40, Jason Craig, and the rest of the field behind him.
Yeah, we've got a slow car on the back stretch, the 24. I think that's Clausen. And Clausen will duck into the backstretch pit entrance. The 40 up to second spot. Jason Craig, as Kyle mentioned. Vanderwist up to third. Prue in fourth. Gary Triska now up in the fifth spot. And Triska moving through the field up to fourth now on the backstretch. But there's your leader, Race Meyer in the 93 R machine. And Jason Craig looks like he's trying to track the 93 down here.
Yeah, Craig is having a good run here, trying to close that gap on Race Meyer. It's now, I would say, about 10 to 15 car lengths now. It's shortened up just a little bit, but Race Meyer is definitely having a good race here. But Craig, again, out of turn 3, closing that gap even more. We get a look at the middle of the pack, the race for third and fourth, fifth.
Yeah, actually a battle for third and fourth and fifth, as you mentioned. Vanderwist in there with Triska in the 56. The 51 is Tom Hughes. That's a battle for third. They're almost a full straightaway behind the lead pair, though. There's the 54 of Vanderwist being followed closely by Gary Triska in the 56. That's a battle for third. 5 to go. Halfway done here, heat race number 1 for the Bone Stocks. And the lead pair, Craig reeling in the leader, Race Meyer, down to about 5 car lengths down the back now. As the work turns at 3 and 4. Race officials are watching the weather. Looking right now of a window for another couple of hours, just over 2 hours, they're thinking. So we'll have to wait and see how quickly this card progresses tonight.
That's right, here, and now it's going to be some lap traffic. Just one car should be pretty easy to navigate through for the leaders of Race Meyer and Jason Craig. Easily to the outside. They're going to come around. It's going to be 3 to go this time by the stripe.
Yeah, Craig was able to cut that lead by a couple of car lengths. Then even closer now under braking through turns 1 and 2, up the hill now and down the back. And Craig is obviously closer now, about 2.5 car lengths back of the leader. No lap traffic problems for a good straightaway, and they only have 2 laps to go this time by.
2 laps to go, as you mentioned, Chris. And now, yeah, that race for first and second is a lot closer than it was, as Craig is going to go to the inside. Gets a nose to the back quarter panel. Can't get any further at this particular point down the backstretch.
So about a lap and a half to go here with the leaders. Lead battle now through turns 3 and 4. And Race Meyer will keep the lead. White flag on the speedway. Half a mile to go for the leaders here. Bone Stock heat race number 1. It's Meyer in the 93, Craig in the 40. They have traffic to contend with. First it'll be the 50 of Joey Langdon. And then the 22 is there as well of Miss Penny, who started on the front row. Lead battle out of turn 4. They'll use the 50 as a pick, and Race Meyer will win it. Followed by the 40 of Craig. Then it's the 54 of Trent Vanderwist. The 56 of Gary Triska. And I believe it's going to be the 23. Yes, Jesse Howard with a great finish will round out the top 5.
That's a very good showing there. Race Meyer, start to finish, flag to flag with that victory there. As we mentioned, he had a great jump off the start and didn't relinquish the lead through the 10-lap heat race. He will move to the A main for sure as well. Then as you mentioned, Jesse Howard rounds out the top 5, and then it was Jesse Herzl 6th, Cassie Howard 7th, Chad Prue in 8th, Tom Hughes 9th, and then it was Tori Robinson in 10th.
There is your winner, Bone Stock Heat Race number 1, the 93R of Race Meyer. More racing on the other side of the... Oh, let's go downstairs quickly to Kate.
I'm here with the number 1 Superstock driver, Trevor Culver. Found his fan on his pit cart. Is that how you're keeping cool so far?
Yeah, it's definitely warm conditions out here tonight, so I was spoiled enough. My stepdad got us a nice little portable DeWalt fan that keeps us cool near the pits. It's one thing we got to keep an eye on tonight is how hot the track is. It was a lot hotter in practice, and it rained and really cooled the track down. The air temperature is probably 10 degrees cooler, but the track's got to be 100 degrees cooler. So we got to make sure that we put the right adjustments in this number 1 Inventory Express Lubricants Camaro so that we can go to the front.
And that's a great point. The track's definitely cooled down, so is the air, but it's still very humid. So as a driver, you've got to stay cool as well. What are you going to do other than your fan to stay cool tonight?
I'm just trying to stay hydrated. My mom and my wife have been all over me this week about staying hydrated, and I've been all over the guys too. It's a team sport. It's not just me driving the car, so we're all working together to stay cool. We got a little canopy here to provide some shade, and just stay hydrated and be ready for the race when it comes.
Well, this number 1 car looks super fast tonight, and let's see if it gets back to the front like it did last week. Back to you guys upstairs, and let's go racing.
Set lights off the Delaware Speedway pace vehicle. They're just going to be firing them out here to try and beat the weather here, Kyle.
That's right. As we get ready for heat race number 2 in the Bone Stock division, we have the 333 of Kyle McMillan, and then the 88 of the Starrett Racing stable. Kara Martin in the 3, the 92H of Ryan Houston, the number 11 of Rob Wollaston, Dakota Luma in the 16 machine. The 28 is Daniel Mayu.
McMillan will bring him out of turn 4. Green flag. We're racing here. Bone Stock Heat Race number 2. McMillan in the inside 333, and then the Starrett Racing stable car will get out front in the 88. Kara Martin in green and black on the right of your screen up to 3rd spot. And we're going to get a caution. I'm not sure if Scotty liked that start. So we're going to rack him and pack him again and set him loose again. I'm surprised that they're going to restart him here. They're trying to get these races in. I think they're going to... Oh, there's a black flag coming. Oh, the signal is a bad start on behalf of the field. I think the Starrett Racing machine had jumped a little early, I think.
Yeah, we'll have to see here on the replay, because on the live scoring here, it has Starrett Racing as the pole car. So I don't know exactly what we got there.
The
Could have been.
The 88 was. Oh, you got the Starrett Racing as the pole car.
On the live timing monitor, we have the Starrett Racing car as the lead, but it might have been a little backwards. So I think it's going to be McMillan going to be that pole car there, and he's the one that's got to start it, as you mentioned, inside that restart zone as we come out of turn 4.
Yeah, you'll see the yellow paint mark on the inside wall there, and you'll see 2 red stripes coming up with a cone. That's the restart zone. So the control car, the leader, can restart the race anytime between the yellow mark and the red mark. If the leader, the control car, does not start the race within that zone, the car beside them can restart the race for the field. So lights off the Delaware Speedway pace vehicle. Looks like we're going to have at least one more Bone Stock heat race, so that'll be 3 total. Might even be 4. We'll have to wait and see. So it's the 333 of McMillan and the 88 on the outside here, and McMillan will lead the field. I believe it'll be the 333 leading them back to the field, or to the stripe. They're actually going to pick up some speed here. Picking up speed already. Look at this. They'll restart right now. Green flag, we're racing. We'll see if Scotty likes that one, because that was a huge start for the 333 of Kyle McMillan. And we're going to keep him green. Start racing on the outside. No, we're going to go caution, and he didn't like that either. So I think that's one no-no for each of the front row now, Kyle.
Yeah, we had Kyle McMillan in the 333. He was way ahead of the field. We'll look at the replay here.
Well, he actually started the field. This is in turn 3. He's already spreading the field out. I'm not sure if our replay will pan out, but he's already spreading the whole field out while he's going through turns 3 and 4.
Start Racing Machine is trying to get back into it, and he's coming out of 3 into 4, and he's mashed the gas before he's even hit the yellow stripe on the wall.
And look at the rest of the field, all spread apart. Scotty didn't like that start at all. We'll do it again. And both front row cars have been pushed back a row. So give the control now to Kara Martin in the 3 on the inside. And it should be the 92H of Ryan Houston on the outside of the front row. So Kara will restart the field here.
Coming into turn 4, gonna look for the green flag, this time out of turn 4.
Kara Martin, the veteran of a few years at Delaware Speedway, looks to the stand, and this should be a good one now. And Kara Martin will lead the field into turn 1. Collison in the 11 outside row 3, looking very racy. And they'll dive into turn 1 and up the hill in turn 2 and down the back. Kara's got the lead. Here comes McMillan in the 333 down the inside. The 88 trapped, but the 88 will make it 3 wide into turn number 3. There's Collison in the 11 looking racy. 333 a little loose through turns 3 and 4. And Martin will lead the opening lap. They're 4 wide out of turn 4.
My goodness, the back of the field is making this race very interesting, and it's early. These guys haven't even made the A main yet, and they're racing like this already, Chris.
Yeah, Starrett racing right on the rear decklet of Kara Martin in the 3. It's McMillan in 3rd. Outside the 333, there's the 11 of Wollaston, and Wollaston wants to come to the front. And trying to bring the 13 of Taylor Everest and Dakota Luoma in the 16 along with him. Side by side for the lead. Good run by the 88. Martin drops to 2nd. Here comes Wollaston on the outside. It's McMillan on the inside. 3 wide into turn number 3. McMillan will hold the spot. Very loose turns 3 and 4. And they'll come out of that 2 wide. And Martin will hold on to 2nd for now.
My goodness, this racing. Contact around the 11 into the 3.
Martin's around. Right in the middle of the field. And we'll see if Kara can get going here. She spun off the front of the Wollaston 11 machine, and we're still green on the racetrack. She's still stopped at turn number 1. And we'll go caution on the speedway with 3 laps complete in the Bone Stock Heat Race number 2.
My goodness, this was action-packed, jam-packed racing throughout this heat race. We got to look at it. Across the line, we see Martin on the outside, the 11 in the middle, as Martin tries to go down and just doesn't have the room to get around the 11.
Oh, the 11 was there.
Put the 11 just staying in his line, didn't move. Kara Martin didn't have the room to go down.
Good job by the black 16 of Dakota Luoma to avoid Kara and not get into the 8 as well of Charlie Verhoeven. And there you see a loose rear bumper on the 3 machine of Kara Martin. And officially now they've added a lap, so 8 to go here in this 10-lap Bone Stock Heat Race.
And that's the thing you got to remember here too in the Bone Stocks. They don't have spotters, so you're just kind of driving on feel, and you got to make sure that you have the feel if you think you can go. But sometimes it turns out like that, where you think you have the room to get down into a different groove on the track, and it turns out somebody's right there in the back bumper of you, and it causes you to spin out. But nonetheless, we are going to wait to go green flag racing once again. As you mentioned, 8 laps to go in this heat race.
Yeah, caution still on the speedway. The car from the Stair Racing stable out front. And the 2 cars that were originally at the front row before they were both penalized are now back in the top 2 positions, with the Kyle McMillan in the 333. The 13 of Taylor Everest is up to 3rd. The 12 of Joe Kicks in the Wonderbread car is 4th. No, he's going to be pushed back a spot. in favor of the 16 of Dakota Luoma. They'll reset the field based on the last completed green flag lap, and a penalty coming to the 11 of Wollaston for spinning out the Martin number 3 machine, and now they'll both restart together at the back, so Wollaston gets a big penalty here.
Yeah, Wollaston now having to bring up the rear here in the field. Not sure what the race officials saw there, because it looked like Wollaston didn't really make a move to try and get up high. It looked like Kara Martin was the one that kind of was coming down.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, the two incident cars are now at the back here.
Let's
think
see
we're going to get another look.
Coming into turn 1. Here's Kara. Looks like she's coming down on the right front of Wollaston just a bit, and Wollaston's there. Like there's no room there for the 3 car at all. Watch the 16, left side of your screen. Needle right through the 13 and the 8, misses the 3 and stays off the Verhoeven 8 machine. Good job by Dakota Luoma there in the 16 for sure.
Yeah, that was a great move there. Feeds himself through the needle, as you mentioned, to keep his car right side around on the track and not put any damage on that. Still under caution here, 8 to go once we get back to green flag racing.
Yeah, the Bone Stocks, from what you were telling me last week, did a pretty good job of racing. They had 1 caution. That was the very last lap, or 2 to go last week. So they did a really good job of keeping the light green around the half mile.
Yeah, exactly. They it was one of the cleaner races, I guess, if you want to use that word, Chris. It was just crisp. The drivers were solid. They were racing hard, but they were also keeping everything tight and compact and making sure that green flag stayed out on the track. So it's a good side here, and it looks like the white flag is out from the flag stand. 1 lap left.
Yeah, they'll get the call to double up, and they'll do that. McMillan will go to the inside now, I believe. They're trying to figure out where they're going in the front 2 spots, the 88 and the 333. Then it's the 13 of Everest, the 16 of Luoma. Then it's the 12 of Joe Kicks in row number 3, Verhoeven inside row 3. Remember, Wollaston got penalized. He's at the back of the field with Kara Martin, who was the incident car as well. 8 to go when they take the green this time by Bone Stock Heat Race number 2. And I believe it might be Starrett, the control car here in the 88, the Starrett racing machine. And they'll come out of turn 4. They'll look to the flag stand, into the restart zone. Looking. Green flag, we're racing. Bone Stock Heat Race number 2. And we'll watch Wollaston at the back of the field to see how fast that car can come through the field. There's Wollaston diving it to the inside of the blue car. It's the Starrett racing machine out front, side by side. It's Luoma on the outside in the 16. McMillan in the 333, Everest in the green 13. Loose is the 333. That car's been loose in turn 3 for the entire heat race.
Yeah, last week, coming out of turn 3 into turn 4, that spot on the track was a little bit of trouble for a lot of the Bone Stocks and some of the V8 stocks. So we're going to see if that plays any factor here. But as you mentioned, the 333 falling back in a hurry as the Starrett racing machine is still in first.
Here comes the 8 of Verhoeven in the red car, and the 333 drifts up the track and doors the Verhoeven machine. And then McMillan falling back in the 333. The 15 of Sterling Roberts is trying to come to the front as well. And there's the 74 of Stan Cook. Good run by the 74 out of turn number 2. They'll go to the high side, or at least the 15 machine will, of the 333 McMillan. They're 3 wide for second at the front of this field. It's Starrett racing out front. Then it's Everest in the 13. It's Luoma in the 16. And Verhoeven has come to the front to battle with the leaders here with 5 to go. All 4 of them put a blanket on him for the lead. Here comes the 15 now. Sterling Roberts is up there now. It's a 5-some for the lead at the front of this field.
Luoma almost on the outside here on the Starrett racing machine out of turn 4. He's trying to take the lead on, coming to the stripe. It's 3 wide to the stripe here.
Luoma on the outside is going to be pushed into the corner by Verhoeven. It's Everest on the inside in the green 13. Starrett racing the meat in that sandwich. And Luoma has the lead down the back. There's still 3 wide contact. The 8 and the 88 get together on the outside wall. And a caution on the speedway, and both cars heavily damaged. I think the 88 drifted up the track. Maybe didn't think Verhoeven he was clear of Verhoeven and caught the front of Verhoeven, and both went into the wall.
Yeah, the 8 machine is able to drive away here. We get a quick look at this as that's across the line. The 8 of Verhoeven in behind on the outside of the 88 Sterrett machine.
Watch the 88 after the turn 2. The 88 might have thought he was clear of the Verhoeven machine out of turn 2, and see if the 88 comes up the track.
Not sure if the 13 had
There's contact right there. We just had contact out of turn 2, and then they came up together, I think.
Not sure if the 13, because it was 3 wide there, the 13 might have been trying to push up as well, causing the Sterrett machine to push, and it's just a domino effect out of turn 2 into the backstretch there.
There definitely was contact before the main contact on the exit of turn 2 for sure. We saw the tire smoke or the tire rub. And we're cautioned with, let's go, we've got another replay here. Let's have a look.
Another look at it
turn
here.
2. See the
13 makes contact first, pushing Sterrett machine
I'm not sure
up.
if there was contact, Kyle. I think he
or at
maybe
least trying to pinch him up on the track
he maybe drifted up the track a little bit. I'm not sure. I wouldn't put money on a contact from that angle, but not saying that there wasn't. But definitely there was a tire smoke contact between the 88 and the 8 out of turn 2. Maybe that was because that 13 kind of drifted up the track a little bit. What do we got here? What kind of angle we got here? Okay, this is the original replay we had here. Let's watch the 13 of Everest on the inside apron and watch the 13's exit. Left side tires on the yellow line, still on the yellow line, now starting to drift up a little bit. I don't know if there's contact there. Look at the tire smoke. The right rear of the 88 machine in the 8, but I'm not sure the 13 made contact. I think maybe just drifted up a little bit.
Pinched up. Yeah, not like you said, Chris. Not sure the 13 made contact in the 88, but at least pinched up, and like I said, kind of caused that domino effect. The 88 trying to make sure that he's trying to get out of the way, but then obviously you're 3 wide. A car's on the other side of you, and then that causes the damage there.
Absolutely under caution here. Bone Stock Heat Race number 2. The first Bone Stock race went caution free. We'll be right back. Delaware Speedway Racing on Rogers TV, presented by Ray Cullen Chevrolet.
Don't get caught unprepared this summer. White's Rental is your one-stop shop for lawnmower tune-ups and repairs. You can visit us at our new location, 785 Little Simcoe Street.
Jeff from Chillin' and Grillin' with Jeff here, and we are back for another incredible season of Chillin' and Grillin' with Jeff. We're going to tour some amazing backyards. We're going to meet up with some great folks, and we're going to cook some incredible food. Join us Thursdays at 7:30 for Chillin' and Grillin' with Jeff.
Playing whatever. Jack 102.3.
This is not a drill. This is happening.
Get ready, because a new season of The Old Man is coming soon to FX.
Do you recognize me now?
Need to catch up? Stream the entire first season on City TV Plus.
Presented by Ray Cullen Chevrolet. Still under caution here. Bone Stock Heat Race number 2. 5 laps in, 5 laps to go. I think this is our 3rd caution in 5 laps. So this squad of Bone Stocks now really cooperating with the race control. We want to try and get as much racing in because we are on a rain watch tonight, folks.
Yeah, that's right. The weather might not cooperate for us. The crew is off the track. They got the speed dry down there. It's going to be get the cars through that speed dry there on the track as well to try and spread it around and get it off dispersed as evenly as possible. But we're going to, looks like the white flag is in the hand of Scott Mackey in the flag stand. So it's going to be, I think, 1 lap this time by. Sure enough, it is.
So Everest has been put to the back of the field. So I'm not quite sure did he go into the pits while we were on break? I didn't see the 13 pit.
I didn't see the 13 pit, but maybe the race officials, with that pinch up, if they think he caused the Starrett machine into the 8 machine there. So
that's a tough penalty to take. If I'm a driver, that's a tough penalty to take. Like if your car drifts up on corner exit, you might not be able to stop that. Now we're saying you're going to get penalized.
It's obviously a little bit of a guesswork here, the race officials, what they might have seen or not, but nonetheless, we're going to get back to green flag racing here.
Yep, we got Luoma in the outside in the 16.
The 15 is Sterling Roberts.
Sterling Roberts in the 15 on the inside of row number 1. Green flag, we're racing with the Bone Stocks in heat race number 2. Nice jump by Roberts on the inside. And the 74 is there as well. That is the Stan Cook. And now the front 3 trying to get away from the rest of this field. 3 wide in the middle of the pack as Kara Martin's making some moves. And so is Randy Martin. Team cars in the middle of the pack, but the front 3 will come out of turn 4. 4 to go. It's Roberts up front.
Yeah, Sterling Roberts definitely able to make good on that restart as he's in front as the 16 of Dakota Luoma right behind him, and then it's the 74 Stan Cook. Put a blanket on the front 3. They're pretty spaced out evenly here as we come out of turn 3 into turn 4.
Yeah, there's the leaders coming into your shot right now, and back to the stripe with 3 to go. And the front 4 trying to get away, and then the rest of the field. Verhoeven back in the field, Wollaston back in the field, trying to make their way through traffic. Otherwise, they're going to be going to the B main to try and get to the A main later tonight. It's Roberts out front. Luoma in second spot. Stan Cook, a good run for the white 74. Up to third spot now, and Daniel Mayu now up to the 4th position in the 28. 2 laps to go.
2 laps to go here. We have Sterling Roberts in the 15 machine looking for a heat race victory. He's got a good 10 car length lead behind, in front of Dakota Luoma of the 16 machine, as Luoma looking to make closing that gap here out of turn 4.
Yep, white flag on the speedway, and the 15 of Sterling Roberts will take it. Oh, we got a car around in turn number 4. 2 cars involved in turn number 4. White flag still displayed, still green. We're pointing at turn 4, and we'll go caution on the speedway. And it's Everest involved again in the green 13. That's what happens when you get put to the back of the field. You might get into some trouble. There's a lot more chances of getting into some trouble. And I think the 29 of Aiden Eckhart involved as well. And officially we'll go to 2 laps to go here in this Bone Stock heat race number 2 that's been marred by caution.
Yeah, a lot of cautions here in this heat race as it's kind of been a more hectic race. This heat race, in my opinion, has been very aggressive. Drivers going 3 wide, almost 4 wide in some instances, Chris. So with aggressive driving is going to come some yellow flags on the track.
Yeah, copy that. All right, so we're under caution again here in Bone Stock heat race number 2. We'll be right back. You're watching Delaware Speedway Racing on Rogers TV, presented by Ray Cullen Chevrolet.
Ray Cullen Chevrolet. Ray saves you money, and that's the key on Chevy, Buick, GMC. Ray Cullen Chevrolet. You should drive by Ray today.
Join us this week on Money Talks with Ryan Seeley as we interview guests around entrepreneurship, raising funds, operational strategic excellence, and website maximization.
Are you low on food? Struggling to pay the bills? Overwhelmed by life's challenges? When you need support but don't know where to turn, just dial 211. 211 connects you to the programs or services near you.
211, how can I help you?
211, help starts here.
Delaware Speedway Racing on Rogers TV, presented by Ray Cullen Chevrolet. They actually stopped the heat race number 2 and awarded the win to the 15 to Sterling Roberts. You can just see towards the center of your screen, well, not anymore, at Victor Lane, Sterling getting a couple of pitches. There's Sterling Roberts in the 15. Heat race number 3 has taken to the track. Now, while we're away on break, ladies and gentlemen, we did see a lightning strike in the distance off the backstretch. So we have been, and we currently are still watching the weather here. Race control, trying to get as much racing in tonight as we can. If you have not watched racing at Delaware Speedway or been here in person, no track drawing equipment other than safety vehicles and personal vehicles, people coming onto the track and just driving around, creating heat in the track and trying to dry it.
Yeah, exactly. And I know a couple of times if they have the bone stock division in on a Friday night, they try and use them because they use normal street tires, so it helps disperse the water through the track and help dry it up. But as mentioned here, it's going to be heat race number 3 in the bone stock division. Yeah. Usually as we go through, this is going to be the faster of the group. The ones that you're going to see maybe put in faster laps, but we'll have to wait and see here. It's going to be the 26 of Nathan Rea on the inside, followed by the 48 of Jack Dixon, Adam Generou in the 25 machine, and then it's the 17H of Jennifer Hatch, 69 of Mitchell Rawlings, 64 of William Clausen, Michael Verburn in the 19 in 7th, 8th is the 17 machine of Colin Wilms.
And out of turn 4 they come. It's Rea with the control car. Green flag, we're racing. Boat stock heat race number 3. And this should be a pretty good one here, Kyle. And quickly Rea will get out in front and quickly challenge. I think, is that the 2.8 or the 2.5? We had a 2.8 in the previous race, so I'm not quite sure what that number might be. We'll wait for the transponder to come around. It is the 25 of Adam Generou. Jack Dixon up to 3rd. And Generou looking very racy in that 25 machine, formerly the 28, from a very big stable in bone stock racing.
That is right. In the BT stable for sure, the BT Racing stable. He's going to come out of turn 3 into 4 in the lead, coming across the stripe. He's going to go across the stripe and lead this lap, Chris.
Yes, and the Terry Labonte Kellogg's the Cornflakes replica paint job. Rea to 2nd, Dixon up to 3rd, Michael Verburn to 4th, Colin Williams running out the top 5, and then it's the points leader, Jeremiah Rabideau, trying to fight through this field. There's the 5 of Rabideau. He is the points leader right behind the 17 of Colin Williams. You got the 19 of Verburn right in front. Rabideau will stick to the high side. That black number 5 loves the outside here at the half mile. He'll continue to run it as long as they give it to him. Meanwhile, Generou's trying to get away from the rest of them at the front of the field.
Yeah, Generou definitely having a field here, but we get a look on our screen. It's a 17 and 5 in a battle here as they now have another car in front of them that they're going to have to maneuver around, and they're going to looks like it almost looked like they were going to try and split them and go inside outside on them, but they thought better of that coming through.
That's a battle for 5th spot right behind this 19 of Michael Verburn. Donovan Clark in the 52 right there. And Donovan tucks in behind the rear declative Rabideau down the back, trying to get to the outside of Wilms. Meanwhile, it's Generou way out in front. Then it's Rea and Jack Dixon your front 3. Then a gaggle for 4th.
As we come across the line, we see the middle of the pack. It's Jeremiah Rabideau, as you mentioned, the points leader. And then the gap here down the back stretch, it is Generou, or they have it as now Joe Lawrence driving that 25 machine.
Okay, that's what I thought, because Kate was talking to Joe earlier.
Yeah, so it's Joe Lawrence in that 25 machine, and he's got that gap in hand.
Verburn to the outside of Rabideau. The 52 of Clark is there. So is the 17 of Willems. And the 33 right there, that's Paul Fothergill, the multi-V8 champ, doing some bone stock racing in 2024. But it's Joe Lawrence way out in front. Half a straightaway lead with 3 to go. Here comes Rabideau to the inside, just ahead of this battle on screen. There's Rabideau to the inside of the 48 of Jack Dixon, and Rabideau will grab the 3rd spot now. And there's a gaggle for Verburn in the 19, Willems in the 17. Hey, Langford! Matty Langford's come to the party in the 03. Fothergill in the 33. Donovan Clark in the 52. On the high side out of turn 4. 2 to go. This time by.
That time by, we still get a look at the 5-car mess here, not mess, but 5-car grouping as they're trying to all gain positioning here, inside, outside. It's a good piece of racing here in the middle of the field.
Yeah, Langford trying to make it 3 wide, diving into turn number 3 to the left rear quarter panel of the Willems 17 machine, through turns 3 and 4, back to the stripe, 1 lap to go. Here's Rabideau in a battle for second now with Nathan Rea. Rea in the 26, Rabideau in the 5. That 5 loves the outside here at the half mile, and a great run to grab second out of turn 2. But it's Joe Lawrence out of turn 4, all by himself, checkered flag in the air, and heat race number 3 will get done quickly. Lawrence will win it, followed by Rabideau, Rea. Then it's the 48 of Dixon, and then Donovan Clark running out the top 5.
Yeah, what a move there out of the, and then going 6 through 10, we got Michael Verburn in the 19 in 6th. 7th is Colin Willems and Matt Langford in 8th. Paul Fothergill 9th, and then it's the who they call the B-Main Bandit in the 78 of Justin Culver coming in 10th.
There's the winner right there in the 25 machine, Joe Lawrence. When we come back, we'll go V8 stock racing from the half mile in Delaware, Ontario. Delaware Speedway Racing on Rogers TV, presented by Ray Cullen Chevrolet.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Think before you say it. Don't wind up like me. Imprisoned by your tongue. Doing 1 to 3.
Is that what good behavior?
You got
Rising from the ashes, spreading my wings wide. No more holding back. I've got nothing to hide. If you cross me once, you will feel my thunder shower. So don't mess with me, 'cause I've got the power. I've got the power.
The Bachelorette season premiere Monday, July 8th on City TV.
Welcome back, Delaware Speedway Racing on Rogers TV. New Delaware Speedway merch store now available online, shipping anywhere in Canada or the U.S. at www.delawarespeedway.com/shop, or merchandise link on homepage. Stay up to date with all the Delaware Speedway fashions, with new products continuously being added. All right, so V8 stock heat racing. We'll get to Kyle here because he's going to tell you about a rule that they followed now for the last couple of years. Green flag, we're racing with the V8 stocks. And the field will run into turn number 1 now. And out front is David Rockwood in the 53. The 53 is gone. 86 is Kane Patrick quickly up to the second spot. They have to be within a certain time. Tell us the rule, Kyle.
21.1 seconds is the sweet spot they gotta be at or above. So slower than the 21.1. If they're not, if they're faster than that, anything under 21.1 seconds on a lap time, serving a stop and go penalty on the backstretch into the entrance of pit road, and then let the rest of the field pass them, and then they're able to go again.
And usually it's the first lap that they try and take advantage of it, because they start that lap at a slow speed, and then the laps after that they're at full speed. So Kyle will monitor the times as we make laps here. Heat race number 1 for the V8 stocks here on Rogers TV, and it's David Rockwood out front, but Caden Patrick trying to track him down. Here comes Clutterbuck in the 72, and the 51 is Adam Everson up to the 4th spot now. Everybody good?
Everybody good there, running in the high 21s and even into the 22s. So everybody kind of staying in groove right now as we get a pass here. Coming out of turn 4, the 86 looking to take the lead.
Yeah, Patrick wants the lead, and he's got it. And Clutterbuck's going to try and follow Patrick through on the inside. Rockwood trapped on the outside. Then it's Adam Everson in the 4th spot, followed by Dave Everson. Side by side for the lead through turns 3 and 4. Patrick on the inside, Rockwood on the outside. Drag race to the line. Patrick will lead that lap unless somebody got busted.
Everybody's still good here. 21.5s there for the front 2.
And the key to this type of racing, race fans, is you need to figure out how you're going to run this half. Are you going to run the first half of the lap full out and then kind of back off the throttle for the back half? Or are you going to do it in vice versa? And a lot of different drivers have different strategies, but side by side for the lead continues. Patrick in the 86, Rockwood in the 53, down the back. And Clutterbuck has lost a spot now to Adam Everson, the 51, up to 3rd. Still side by side for the lead at the line with 3 to go.
Everybody's still good here. Nobody hitting that breakout rule as of yet, but it's still a battle side by side here for the lead. It's been a heck of a race so far.
And what you'll find with this type of racing, race fans, is you'll find what we see right now. Side by side at the front of the field. They'll time each other, they'll help each other time around the track, and then they'll try and figure out a winner with 1 lap to go. Usually there's more cars stacked up behind them, but it's just a parade lap at full speed right now. With just over a lap to go here, they'll get the white flag this time by. Patrick on the inside, Rockwood on the outside. Here comes Everson. And Everson's a good time. So the 51 of Adam Everson is there. Trying to get up to this battle. Drag race with half a lap to go. V8 stock, heat race number 1. Patrick to the inside, Rockwood to the outside. Who's going to win it? Out of turn number 4. And it's going to be a drag race and a dead heat at the line. Who do they got?
They have, it looks like Rockwood there at 21.115, and it was Caden Patrick in the 86 at 21.248. Holy smokes, what a finish to this heat race.
And here's the replay. Rockwood just under the time by 15/100ths of a second. He did not break out, and there you see him at the line by about a half a foot, and maybe less.
Maybe less there. It is absolutely just, that's I think the closest finish we have seen this year here at Delaware Speedway,
He was 15/100ths of a second away from breaking out. Race fans, and your winner of your V8 stock heat race number 1 is the 53 of David Rockwood. He's down in Victor Lane getting some pictures taken. And when we come back from break, we'll go to heat race. Oh, let's go downstairs actually to Kate.
Hi guys, I'm here with the number 5 bone stock of Jeremiah Rabideau. Won last week. He's got some competition here behind the wheel of the 28, but running for the 25 of Joe Lawrence. What is it going to take to beat him this week?
Well, just going to have to kind of keep the momentum I've had been going. I got to keep that going. Just treat it like he's just any other driver, not, ASA, APC driver, maybe the best driver here. So, but yeah, I'm going to give it my best shot, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So what, are you going to make any adjustments come feature time, or are you just going to run what you just had in the heat race and hope for the best?
I think the track is going to tighten up a little bit where they're cooling off. I'm definitely going to make a couple small air pressure adjustments. That's about it. The car really is working good. I mean, we came all the way from the back to the front, and I didn't realize how far ahead Joe was, but it was a good heat race.
Well, we do wish you luck. It come feature time. Back upstairs to you guys to go green flag racing.
And Jeremiah off to a good start in the bone stocks in 2024.
Yes, having the point lead here. We're going to get to green flag racing, heat race number 2. It's the 73 of Jordan Morris. I want to say before we get to green flag racing, he loves the outside, and especially here, because this is where he's going to get his great start and be able to make passes, as we mentioned here, because they start not at full speed. They have the chance to get back up to speed.
Green flag for racing, V8 stock heat race number 2. It's Ferguson on the inside. And it's Morris on the outside, followed closely. I think that's the 45 of Barry Watson. So all 5 are going to go flat out here in this opening lap because they started at a slow pace position. And they'll drag race out of turn number 4. The 5th car in this heat is Austin Penny in the 37. Morris will lead that lap. Now they got to watch themselves. Ferguson remains on the inside. Morris on the outside. Then it's the 45 of Watson. And then the points leader, Dougie Stewart in the blue deuce, just off your screen on the right. Ferguson, there you see the blue nose of the 2. Morris will lead them out of turn number 4. He has the complete lead now.
Everybody good that time by. Has Jordan Morris leading the race here, and it's Barry Watson in the 45 close behind him in second.
Yeah, Watson has come up to the second spot. Ferguson has dropped now into a battle with Stewart for third. And Ferguson seems to be a little off the pace because Stewart will make that pass. Now Watson to the outside of the leader. Everybody good, I think.
Everybody is very good on that lap, and Watson made a nice move to the outside, and he's looking to take the lead down the back.
Side by side for the lead. The Blue Deuce and Doug Stewart trying to catch this lead pair. Through turns 3 and 4, Morris on the inside, Watson on the outside. Watson will lead that lap. And into turn 1 they go. Morris will fight back on the inside. 6 to go here. V8 stock heat race number 2. There's going to be just 2 heat races for this division. Side by side, there's the 2 of Stewart, then the 23 of Ferguson. Very loose, the 23 was through in turns 3 and 4 there. And they'll come across to complete another lap. 5 down, 5 to go. And drag race continues down the backstretch. Stewart slowly reeling that lead pair in. But what's he do when he gets there, Kyle? That's the key.
That is the key there. As we see the times across the line, everybody's still running above the 21.1 breakout time. Barry Watson still in the lead, but Morris is trying to keep him in the sights.
Yeah, but Watson has the lead to himself now. Now Morris fights back on the inside. Doug Stewart trying to catch this battle. Watson will lead that lap. 3 to go.
Dougie Stewart getting really close there on that lap. He was racing at a 21.178 as he's closing that gap down the backstretch. It's side by side here for the lead.
Watson on the outside, Morris on the inside, Stewart in the 2. In third, looking for a mistake, just trying to gain that extra couple of tenths to get up to the lead pair. Austin Penny just turned his fastest lap of this heat race. Now Watson inches up front. Watson fights back on the outside. Here they come through turns 3 and 4. And Stewart's there, but has to back off a little bit. White flag on the speedway. Drag race at the line. Watson will lead that lap. 1 lap to settle it. It's Morris on the inside, Watson on the outside, and Dougie Stewart right there in the blue number 2. All 3 right there. They're going to settle it in the next 2 corners. Morris dives back to the inside. Watson on the outside. Drag race. Who's going to win this one? Drag race to the line. And it's Watson. And how's the time?
Everybody stays clean on that one. So it's the 45 of Barry the Bear Watson that takes home heat race number 2.
So the 45 wins it, and Barry will come around to take some pictures. When we come back, we'll go Superstock Racing. You're watching the Delaware Speedway Racing on Rogers TV, presented by Ray
Collins Chevrolet.
Ray Collins Chevrolet. Ray saves you money, and that's the key on Chevy, Buick, GMC. Ray Collins Chevrolet. You should drive by Ray today.
Find out what's happening in your community by watching London City Council. Tuesdays at 1 p.m. on Rogers TV Channel 13 or streamed at rogerstv.com.
Welcome back to Delaware Speedway Racing on Rogers TV, presented by Ray Cullen Chevrolet. And attention racing enthusiasts, Delaware Speedway has just launched its brand new online merch store. Whether you're a die-hard fan or a casual observer, this is your chance to gear up in style. We are shipping to anywhere in Canada or the U.S. DelawareSpeedway.com/shop has all the information. It is currently now starting to rain here at the half mile. We've heard from race officials we are now in a rain hold because we have the Superstocks on track. They have no tread on their tires. It is starting to rain very, very lightly here at the Speedway.
Now the drops are not as frequent, but they're pretty big, so we're going to have to keep the time here as we get to go.
And I think they just got the call that they're going to put the cars on pit road here, Kyle.
Yeah, we're going to go into pit road, I believe, here, as we're going to have a brief break to see how long this precipitation lasts for. Scott Mackey in the flag stand, rolling up his flags.
Yeah, so we have not obviously started the first Superstock heat race. They're going to bring them down pit road as we are experiencing a very light shower right now. But they did have the watchful eyes on the radar. There was rain coming. They were thinking at the most part maybe around the 10 o'clock hour, but obviously it's gotten here. We can see in the distance from our vantage point past the backstretch and through the tree horizon, it is pouring rain over there. You can see it like a curtain a long ways away though, but who knows if it's coming this way or not at this particular moment. Nonetheless, we are going to, well, I thought they were going to bring the cars down pit road, but they're still on the track. The rain is getting a little bit heavier now here at Delaware Speedway. And we're going to see what the pace car does here with the field. And I think they're going to come down at this time. We're hearing over race control. And yep, they're going to bring him down to pit road right now. So we don't know how long this is going to last, folks. We don't know if it's going to be a short stop, but then, as we mentioned earlier on in the broadcast, no track drying equipment here at the racetrack. They'll get the regular cars out, the safety vehicles out to dry the track. They're not going to go out while it's still raining, obviously, or maybe they are. They are going to send some safety vehicles out there to try and get some heat back in the track or keep some heat in the track, but we don't know how long this rain delay is going to last.
Yeah, that's right. Red flag conditions here, as you mentioned, Chris, in a rain delay, but hopefully this passes soon and we can get back to racing here on a Friday night at Delaware Speedway.
Here you see the cars pulling down pit road, coming to a stop under red flag conditions, and the tarps are coming out from each team to cover the cars up. As you see some of the vehicles on track out there right now trying to keep some heat in this half mile as we're under a rain delay. We'll be right back. You're watching Delaware Speedway Racing on Rogers TV, presented by Ray Cullen Chevrolet.
Saves you money, and that's the key on Chevy, Buick, GMC. Ray Cullen Chevrolet. You should drive by Ray today.
Get your local sports fix with Goin' for Two, a show focused on sports and athletes from London and the surrounding area. Goin' for Two, Thursdays at 6 p.m.
Are you low on food? Struggling to pay the bills? Overwhelmed by life's challenges? When you need support but don't know where to turn, just dial 211. 211 connects you to the programs or services near you.
211, how can I help you?
211. Help starts here.
Welcome back to Delaware Speedway Racing on Rogers TV, presented by Ray Cullen Chevrolet, currently in a rain delay. If you tune in to Rogers Friday nights at 7 before our racing coverage at 7:30, you'll see episodes from this program with Ryan Dyson from our Superstock division. Here's an episode for you now.
So cool.
Waiting for it to, and then that'll all be blacked out, right? You can get rid of that. So where does it, oh, it clicks in down there, right?
Yeah.
Let me just see how this is gonna work. Okay, let's. Can you do it one more time? Got the cargo, and now we're just going to do the switches. What are your thoughts so far?
Huh?
What are your thoughts so far?
This is like the coolest thing ever. And now I just want to go fast.
Action. Okay, it's good. Here's it. You switch roles now, I guess.
Yep, the expert.
Get the angles.
The expert needs all the right angles.
He's gonna be he's doing the rest of the video, and I'm just gonna be like hanging out in here. I'll be the stunt double.
I thought I was good at video until you showed up.
Okay, good. Turn it off. And action.
Him working with the car silhouetted in the background that I can post on social media, saying like a production day here or something. But like you can't show the paint, so the car's got to be silhouetted, but also maybe like a picture of the camera guy. For all 12 of my fans, you know? No. Take a cool picture. Well, I don't want to show the car. Mom doesn't want to see it until she comes to the show. Oh, really? Yeah.
Sorry? Yeah. Towards the front of the car. There we go.
I feel like a celebrity. I'm a movie star now, so if the race season doesn't work out, this is my new career. Hey David, I really hope this car doesn't suck after all this.
Well, I was thinking the same thing, but the driver.
I can only be good at one thing, media or driving, so.
Okay. I think we got the slider shots now. Let's switch over to gimbal and stuff. We can turn the lights off.
Is it recording? Oh. My name is Ryan Dyson, and I drive the number 28 Superstock at Delaware Speedway and at racetracks all across Ontario all summer long. Thank you so much for clicking on our YouTube channel. You can check out behind-the-scenes footage of our race shop and full race day vlogs right here on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and like all of our videos. Drop us a comment in the comments section and we'd be happy to reply to you. I don't know what else I would say in that video, in that intro.
Blow out all candles before you leave the room or go to bed.
Never leave a burning candle unattended.
When you go out, don't forget to blow out.
Thursday.
Most people that are have received treatment for drug use problems are probably going to have a lapse.
Join addictions counselor Dean Anderson for Invisible, Breaking Through the Stigma of Addiction on Rogers TV.
Playing whatever. Jack 102.3.
This is not a drill. This is happening.
Get ready because a new season of The Old Man is coming soon to FX.
Do you recognize me now?
Need to catch up? Stream the entire first season on City TV Plus.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Jared Motorsports YouTube channel, home of the Jared Motorsports vlog. And we have made it back to WMI for another night of work here on the number 28 Douglas Window and Door Bingo Country Chevy Camaro. It's going to be a good night in the shop. We're going to just do some odds and ends, a whole bunch of little things. We've made a list of stuff to do as we are getting ready. Less than a month from now, we'll be heading to Toronto to the Motorama Car Show at the International Center, March 8th, 9th, and 10th, where we're going to be unveiling our brand new race car. And it's going to be an exciting time. I've always wanted to take a race car down there, and I know we've been talking about it the last couple of vlogs, a handful, so obviously exciting, and we hope to see everybody there. So why don't we dive right into it, not do a long intro, dive right into it and get to work on this number 28 car behind me. All right, so I just did, Jamie and I and Frank and everyone here just did it. We didn't video it because we've done enough vinyl work and we've shown on camera, but we just wrapped the dash because we got a white greenhouse on the car this year. White greenhouse. The greenhouse of the car is white. So anyways, that leaves a little bit like a 6-8 inch gap on the dash. I'll flip around and show in one sec. That would have ended up being white, and I don't really want to see that when I'm driving, and it would have looked funny. So here, I'll flip the camera around and show what we just wrapped. Nice matte black to kind of continue the whole dash. So this part right here would have been black. Sorry, it would have been white before. You can go back in previous videos and check it out and see. But so we just wrapped this part right here white. Sorry, we wrapped it black. Holy, I can't talk. We wrapped it black. It would have been white. To kind of continue this. This obviously won't be gloss on the actual dash. It's just got the protective layer on it still. But we just wrapped that to make sure it all looks good. Curtis, you having fun up there? No, not really. Curtis is attempting to put a heat sleeve on because we forgot to put it on, so we got to stretch it over top of a fitting and feed it all the way back over the muffler and stuff to make sure that our fuel line doesn't get a vapor lock. Yeah, there we go. Well, we're getting ready to fire this motor up soon, so what that means is we got to put some fresh Castrol Edge in this thing. We run Castrol Edge 5W20, the good stuff. Yes, you can run this in your race car. I know DJ Kennington runs it in his race car, and he wins lots of races. So let's get some of this good stuff in the engine. And we got our fresh Wix filter in there.
Then we'll get our Castrol synthetic all the way through in the tranny and the rear end. And then, unfortunately, we can't fire it up tonight because we got to do a little bit more wiring, but probably next video we can fire this thing up with. Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
Waiting on that gas.
Liquid engineering right here. I got like a terrible glug going.
Pour it on its side. Flip the bottle to its side.
Well, then how do I show the people the Castrol? I'd rather listen to a glug. Does it actually work?
Yeah.
You sick of cutting vinyl yet, Jamie?
Yeah.
I think this is the last piece you gotta cut until we get decals.
Nah, I need one more gold.
One more piece of gold.
Yeah.
Alright. Check this thing out. We got ourselves a custom grill because they now offer custom grills at WMI. So we got this thing with a 28 laser engraved in it, which is just laser engraved? What do they do? CNC or something. I think they have a Haas CNC, don't they? Haas CNC. Anyways, we've always run one of these grills, but now we got a 28 in there, so that's just super cool. Are you waiting for me? By all means. By all means, young grasshopper. Scared, look at, you're scared to interrupt the vlog. That's just natural content. That's what these people spend hours of time watching. Anyways, we got a cool grill.
Hope you love it.
All the fluids are in the race car. We got the transmission fluid in, the rear end fluid in, engine oil's in, obviously Castrol across the boards. We got our brand new Wix oil filter in, power steering fluids in. I think all we're missing is Castrol React brake fluid, right? And then water, aqua. So we gotta get that in the rad, obviously. I think other than that though, fluids are all done. So once the wiring is done on the car, we can fire it up, which is pretty sweet. There's not a whole lot of work left to do. I'm pretty excited. When did we start this thing? They started the chassis in October? Is that right, Jamie? October? Yeah. Started the chassis in October, so it's been building a car that quick is actually not that long, but especially considering we've taken our time, but the end is near. And then before we know it, it'll be vroom vroom time. So let's see what these guys got going on in the front. No water. Do not fire. Do not fire. No water. No. There's a couple of those on the car because that would be real bad. This isn't one of those channels where we fire stuff up with no water or put macaroni in the engine, see how long it runs or something, whatever those people do. So this isn't one of those channels. Is that Ross Creations? One of those guys. Someone put like macaroni or beans or something in the engine. Beans in the engine.
No, we put like SpaghettiOs in the fuel cell.
SpaghettiOs in the fuel cell, so how long it would run. Anyways, this is not one of those channels, so we put signs on stuff to say no water to make sure no one fires the car up by accident. So you're a shock dyno guy now. You've never seen a shock dyno. You've never seen it? Comment below. Do these two look like they should be brothers? You know it's almost race season when we're dynoing shocks. So we're getting there. We don't have to do this right now. We're gonna wait and do the setup after the car show, but why not? Got the equipment here, got the guy that knows how to run it. Might as well get everything dynoed and ready to go. For those who follow our other social media channels, obviously you saw that Rogers TV is continuing to post our YouTube content as a weekly series this season. It'll be Fridays at 6 o'clock. They're going to air our vlogs as a YouTube series, combining different ones to make 30-minute episodes, and that'll be airing all summer long and for the rest of the year. So I have to film a quick little commercial, so let's do it. My name is Ryan Dyson, and I drive the number 28 Superstock at Delaware Speedway and across Ontario all summer long. You can check out our YouTube series right here on Rogers TV every Friday at 6 o'clock p.m. That's going to do it for another episode of the JRD Motorsports vlog here. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for us. We're on the road to 10,000. We're a little ways away from 10,000, but we just passed 1,000, so there's hope. So appreciate everybody's support. Drop a comment below. Don't forget to comment and let me know if you think those two could be brothers. Appreciate watching the video. We'll be back another night soon. Hopefully, should be putting decals on the car and put the windshield in and getting this bad boy fired up.
As you can see, we're wet. Still in the rain delay. It's Delaware Speedway Racing on Rogers TV, presented by Ray Cullen Chevrolet.
For over 50 years, White's Rental has been providing local contractors and members of the DIY crowd with professional quality lawn and garden tools, aerial lifts, and construction equipment. White's Rental, we have the right equipment to make your project easier.
My name is Ryan Dyson, and I drive the number 28 race car at Delaware Speedway and across Ontario all summer long. You can check out our YouTube vlog series right here on Rogers TV every Friday at 6 o'clock p.m.
Blast you.
Everybody, and welcome to the London Ice House. I'm Steve Matthews with Jim Van Horn. We are here for a game between the London Knights and the Windsor Spitfires. Jim, it's almost amazing to say at this point in the season that we have a #1 hockey team in London, Ontario. The last time that we could say that here about the London Knights, it was called the London Gardens.
Yes, that's right.
You couldn't buy beer in this joint.
The seats were blue and red, I think.
And the uniforms were green and white and gold.
Yes, that's for sure. Things have certainly changed.
And the other thing is, the coach was a guy named Gary Agnew.
Gary Agnew. Well, Gary Agnew hasn't taken very long to put his stamp on this team, and they have a 4-point lead in the Ems division. As you see Gary pumping up the troops for tonight's game against the Windsor Spitfires, this traditional and long-standing rivalry here at the Ice House.
And we are underway. Peter Sarno took the face-off for Windsor against Richard Patiri. Mazuka takes it in for London. Chris Kelly now passes off to Patiri. Patiri knocked down and falls over his own player. These two teams played last night in Windsor, Jim, and the Knights came out on top. I don't think the Windsor Spitfires are going to take that lightly. It was a peaceful game with no penalties in Windsor last night. You think we'll see the same thing?
No. You imagine, I mean, that hasn't happened very often in all of Canadian Hockey League history, but these two teams who have been going at it for years, one of the great rivalries in junior hockey in Canada, and they've had some real rows over the years, but I will say this Windsor team doesn't look to me like they got much fight in them. This is a team that's really struggled this year, and they do have a little bit of talent, you know. Their individual talent isn't bad, but they're really having trouble working together as a team, and a lot of people are really disappointed in their performance this year.
Well, they had a couple of players who were on hiatus. Elich and Zaire left the team. They're now back with the team. They lost their coach. They now have an interim coach, Dave Perpich, and perhaps maybe a new coach coming their way in the next week or so. So things very unsettled for the Windsor Spitfires. We're in behind the Windsor goal. They come out to center, and that's a two-line pass. We get an offside. with almost a minute gone in the first period of this game between the Knights and the Windsor Spitfires. Goes after it. Windsor goes for the line change. Mando is going to get a penalty. He just took a shot at Erskine, and now we got a fight between those two. Dean Mando and John Erskine, couple of heavyweights.
Couple of big guys here. Trying to get their arms free, and there's a good shot by Mando as they continue to wail away. Now Erskine. Well, I think we'll have penalties on that one.
I think so.
I think the streak is broken right there. Well, John Erskine has really established himself as one of the more rugged members of the Knights, and he's given it to Mando right now. I think DJ Mando just decided, well, I'm going to try and wake my team up here. And
yeah, Erskine wasn't even ready for that. It was kind of a dead play, and Mando wanted to get into it. Erskine wasn't quite ready for that fight.
Well, they are both in the box now. That's got to be tiring. That was a heavyweight bout there. The boys leaning on each other, and there's Big John, and everything seems to be intact.
They got to make those helmets a little softer on the outside, though.
That's going to be tough.
Every time I see guys like Erskine pounding away on a helmet.
Starts here again. Mando looks like he's just in an ornery mood tonight, and for good reason, based on how they played last night. He gave Erskine a nice little shot to the chops there in front of the net. The play would go into the corner, and that's when the two got started with the scrap. But it's going to be an advantage to the Knights on the penalty situation, as Mando was getting the original call. Gene Chirillo, what a player he has become. What a goaltender he's been for the Knights this year. He has really answered what was, I thought, the key question coming into this year on the Knights, the goaltending, and he has just been outstanding. Thanks to the work of Jim Sidwell and Tom Hedican.
How true.
Chirillo just has really turned things around. Not that he was terrible last year, but he was just an unknown quantity. He was a rookie last year and played fairly sparingly. There's London native Ron Vogel. He's a Strathroy Junior B graduate. Ron's dad, a former CFPL television employee, and quite a story regarding those two. Ron actually saved his dad's life. His dad was having a heart attack, and Ron managed to get everything in order and call emergency and whatnot. It's a really heartwarming story about father and son. And Ronnie's second-year goaltender for the Windsor Spitfires, a London native.
Cadot has the puck, passes to Brown at the point. Now to Fata, he turns it around, tries to get it to Spiridonov. Here's Cadot with the puck again. Knights on the power play right now. It's passed in front to Legault. Now Fata has it again. Rico spins around, looks for someone to pass to. There's Spiridonov in the open, can't get it across to him, so it's back to the blue line where Jeff Brown keeps it in. Now the Spitfires manage to get it out to center, and Jay Legault is forced back into his own end. Jay Legault turns around. The Spitfires go for a line change as they're on the penalty kill here. Cadot takes it in. He's put up against the boards, and is shot out again. Here's Brown. Martin chases him. Legault to Brown. Knights having a little difficulty getting this power play going right now. Jeff Brown passes off the boards to Fata. Fata can't handle it, and it's back to Jay Legault on the London end. 4 minutes gone in the first period between the Knights and Spitfires. November 14th here at the Ice House. Steve Matthews and Jim Van Horn bringing you this game on Rogers Community TV. Ron Vogel stops the puck, and it's dumped off the boards to the blue line, then down the ice again. Gene Chirillo out of his net. Gene Chirillo playing in 18 of the Knights' 21 games so far this year, as Jimmy mentioned. Alan Hitchin out with an injury about a month and a half ago. Talking to Hitchin before the game, Jim, and he figures he'll be back next week. He's going to play with a knee brace. Oh, big hit there on Jeff Zaire. Jeff Brown took it to Jeff Zaire. Here's Zaire trying to hit back, but going nowhere with it. Crawford turns around, and it's dumped all the way down the ice. 4 seconds left in the Windsor penalty to DJ Mando. And now they'll serve their fighting majors. Erskine and Mando still in the box, serving 5 each for fighting.
Jeff Zaire took a big hit along right at the London bench there. Zaire has just returned to the Windsor lineup after a team-imposed suspension. And let's take a look at it here. And tell you what, every chance somebody gets to hit Jeff Zaire, they do. He's one of those agitator types. And if you get him lined up like that, you will notice that any other player in the OHL, maybe even some of his own teammates, will take advantage of that, because Jeff knows how to get it. He's from nearby Tavistock, a second-round pick of the Islanders. So he's definitely looking at a good future in the game, but he's one of those Ken Linsman type agitators, and boy, he can get under an opponent's skin, that's for sure.
Crawford has the puck for Windsor. Spins around, tries to go past Ugranis, can't do it. Ugranis dragged him down, now along the boards, Mahan. Mahan fights it out with DiPetrillo. They're looking at each other. There's Lang. Metcalf keeps it in for London. Mazuka now. Backhands it to DiPetrillo. DiPetrillo in front looking for Jason Lang, but Lang couldn't see it. And Ron Vogel jumped on the puck. We'll have another face-off.
Well, these teams have a lot of scoring power. Really, that's kind of their forte. And in fact, we're watching the leading scorer, leading point getter at least, in the Ontario Hockey League tonight, in Peter Sarno of the Windsor Spitfires, who has 42 points, again, to lead the OHL. And, of course, Mark Cadot and Jay Legault are in the top 5 with 35 and 34 points, respectively. There you get a look at Sarno, the leading scorer in the Ontario Hockey League, 42 points coming into this one.
And was Sarno not Rookie of the Year last year also?
Sure was, yeah.
There's Kip Brennan with the puck for Windsor. Windsor tough guy Kip Brennan dumps it all the way down.
Hey, welcome back to Delaware Speedway Racing on Rogers TV. I actually love watching those videos of old Knights games. Unfortunately, we have to play them because there's a rain delay, and now unfortunately the night's over.
That's right. Race officials have officially called the night. We did get some racing in, Chris, but we will not get the full night schedule in. What we did see was pretty intense and pretty good racing.
Absolutely. Make sure you log on to DelawareSpeedway.com. They're going to mix and match some cards starting next week because we had a delayed rain out 2 weeks ago, and then obviously this one tonight. So make sure you keep it tuned to DelawareSpeedway.com. On behalf of Kyle and Kate, I'm Chris. Thank you for joining us on a rainy night from Delaware Speedway. We'll see you next week at 7:30. It's Delaware Speedway Racing on Rogers TV, presented by Ray Cullen Chevrolet.
approved for, like, say 500,000, and the rates went up, then it went to 480, 460, 450. So as Australia, it was very, very difficult and challenging for the realtors.
Yes, I was one of those clients. So for anyone out there who's an independent contractor, or maybe who works for themselves, one of the things when I was reestablishing my business, you had instructed me that I had to wait 2 years, right?
Correct.
And that was government policy. And last year, I was kind of working towards a benchmark to have consistency in those 6 figures, and because I wanted to get a house that was priced between, you know, 700 or 800, depending on what was going on. And then when I finally got my numbers and I finally did my taxes, Bernie, tell them what you told me.
Well, the number was a lot less than what you expected, just because the rates were higher.
Tell them the number, Bernie. Tell them the number.
It was like 400.
It was. It was. So, and if you are buying real estate in London, Ontario, there's not really much that you can get in ways of a house for 400. You're looking at condos, townhouses, that kind of stuff. And I wanted a backyard for my puppy, so I guess I'm going to have to wait, right?
Well, I think the tide's turning, so
Yes.
be patient. So we'll talk about that later.
Yes, definitely. It was so funny because when the Bank of Canada held rates, I was like, marked safe from rate.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that, yeah.
I was like, I gotta be the first one. Andrew, how are you finding it with your investments and all the different things that, because you're quite the entrepreneur. You have, not just are you running Revel.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell our guests what you've been doing too since your last episode?
Well, in terms of what's going on in my investments in mortgages and all that, nobody's safe. You know, so I locked in at 2.5% in 2020. My maturity was up last month, and it is so it was at $3,500 for around $1 million mortgage.
Yeah.
And we just got our first payment taken out yesterday. It's $7,000. So it basically doubled, almost exactly doubled. So 2.5 up to a 6.6.
Yeah.
Now, what you're talking about from being approved at 800 and then going down to 400, which doesn't really make sense, but it's not just your affordability or debt to service income ratio. It's the appraisals.
Well, yeah.
So for I've got a building in Muskoka, and that property has 2 commercial units, 4 residential units. We've renovated the commercial units. We've put so much improvements into it. And when we went to go from a private to a commercial, although the rates were slightly more favorable, however, if I renewed with a private, now you're looking at 10, 11, 12. But the building that's worth, in my opinion, 1.4, the bank was only willing to give me $510,000. So quite the big jump, and obviously my mortgage was higher than that at about 700. So I would have had to come up with 150 grand just to keep my own property. Luckily, we went a different route and found a better bank, but that's a reality for a lot of people.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that, because that is the new reality. We see that there's a lot of listings coming up. We see that there's a lot more activity, but they're kind of, I think the last time I checked the numbers, London was at 3 months worth of inventory. And what's happening is that people, like you said, their mortgage rates have doubled. So when it comes down to this, Bernie, I want to actually throw this question to you. So if the mortgage rates have doubled, what's happening with the refinance side of things?
Well, that's really dried up, like the refinance, because like I have lots of clients that are 2.5, I had 1.89. They still have 2 years left. So if they're looking for new money, I'm not going to give them 6.4 or 6.3 for everything just to clean up a little bit of debt. So we're doing a lot of second mortgages, and some of our lenders have these what's called a safeguard mortgage, where you can do a second mortgage at like 7%. It's not bad rates. Or we're doing private seconds just to keep that first in place, just so they pay it down, and then hopefully we weather this storm with these crazy high rates, and then in 2 or 3 years they come back down. So I'm recommending 2-3 years for all my clients. Just stick it out, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. And Andrew, I'm going to throw this to you. So one of the things that it's very interesting from the real estate perspective. So hypothetically speaking, I'm going to run this scenario. So someone bought 2 years ago. So let's say 2020, 2021, height of the market, right?
Yeah.
So now their mortgage payments have doubled. They can't afford their mortgage payments. Are you advising them to sell or to stay? Because the interesting thing, I don't know if you want to tell the viewers, is what's happening to the property values.
Right. So a lot of people, it all really comes down to, can you afford it?
Yeah.
Did you buy it in a company? Is it in your personal name? Are you going to go bankrupt? How is this going to affect your future? Because, it's only going to last 1 to 2 years before you start seeing them going down again.
Yeah.
So a lot of clients have to sell. So they have to be okay with the fact that, but the thing is that if you bought it in 2020 or early 2021, the likelihood of you losing your entire deposit is fairly low. So you know what? Hey, you might have to eat 25 to 50, maybe 80% of your entire down payment.
Yeah.
But again, it all just depends on if they can afford the payments or not. If they can, stick it out. We also have a lot of our clients that are selling their multifamily. So those are the ones that are hitting the market first. Because if it's not cash flowing anymore, there's no point. And that also might be something that they couldn't afford on their personal side to float for another year or two.
And I'm glad that you mentioned multifamily. So Bernie, you're also an investor, right? When it comes to investment properties and rental properties. How are you finding that market?
I was just talking to Andrew, it's fantastic. Like the rents have, like I got 7 properties and I've owned them for 6-7 years, and my rents have like almost doubled. Like,
wow.
And I try to keep it fairly like reasonable. I don't like to take advantage of some people. So I got houses that are renting for $1,800, $2,000 that some people might rent for $28.
Yeah.
But my tenants have been there 5-6 years.
Yeah.
And they take care of the property. And I'm just barely breaking even. I'm not cash flowing because I'm in a variable rate, but I'm a long-term investor, just like Andrew says. I'm going to ride it out. So it's hurting right now. And you know, you got to take from somewhere else or cash in some investment. Just kind of ride it out. It's going to come back.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you guys so much for sharing that knowledge. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about if you are feeling that pinch with bankruptcy, and if you're feeling like maybe it's time to sell. We're going to give you some strong advice. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Looking for a mortgage? Let Bernie Klaser of Real Mortgage Associates do the work for you. Whether purchasing, refinancing, renewing, or first-time homebuyers, Bernie Klaser will find the mortgage and rate to suit you, saving you time and money.
Hey, I'm Scott Navarro, a producer here at Rogers TV, and I just want to say thank you to all the volunteers that we have that put on our shows. Whether that's hosts in front of the camera or volunteers behind the scenes, we couldn't do it without you, so I just want to say thanks.
In The Paint Box, host Jane Roy puts a spotlight on various aspects of the vibrant visual art community in the City of London.
Like just generally, galleries have had great relationships with their artists. They're the ones that kind of promote them. Sometimes one of the things I've really appreciated about you is you're also an encourager.
The Paint Box, Mondays at 5:30 p.m.
This is a man's heart, a heart in desperate need of medical attention. But because 78% of Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare, he may not get the help he needs. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
Hey everybody, we are back. You are watching Agent on Duty with myself, Stacey Preer, and my special guest. Returning again, we have Bernie Klaser from RMA Mortgages, and we have Andrew Perry from Revel Realty. Guys, so you were like dropping some serious wisdom here on anyone who's looking to invest or someone who might have a mortgage that's doubled and they're feeling the financial pinch. So I wanted to get a little bit more into that, because not only do you guys can you say sell mortgages? It's not sell mortgages, right?
I guess I sell mortgages.
Yeah, I was like, what do you do really with those mortgages?
I sell money.
Yeah, there you go. I sell money. There you go. I wish. I wish I printed money. TBH. Yeah. And yeah, so with you guys, both of you guys, you own your own businesses, you own your own homes, and you also have investments, right? Yeah. And we have some expensive habits that we'll get into as well.
Who, mine?
Huh? What? Who, me? Not talking about your hair extensions and lashes there, Bertie. But yeah, so we were talking about the financial pinch. So one of the things that people are always asking me, and I'm sure you guys get asked this a million times, what do you think the market's going to do? Do you think the rates are going to come down? And why do you think that they're doing this? So I'm going to throw this question to you, Andrew.
Sure.
We talked a little bit about it. We've heard rumors, rates are going to come down, but we don't have a magic ball. What are you telling your clients when they ask you this question?
At the end of the day, again, it comes back down to finding exactly what their wants and needs are. Is it a want or is it a need?
That's true.
Because some people say it's a need, but it's actually a want. So
especially in Muskoka, right?
Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, from what I believe, and again, this is not backed by anything other than theory, but I believe we're going to hit our apex. I think it's going to go up one more time. I think we'll hit our apex at about 5.5, maybe early spring, and then something will, start to slowly decrease by 2025. A lot of my higher end clients are saying, Andrew, we just got to survive till 25.
Yeah.
And so I'm taking the advice of not only industry experts, but also people that are at that high level that are doing, different forms of trading, whether it be real estate, stocks, etc.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, the best advice I can give them is when it's right for you. And I know that's such a blanket statement, but it can't be any more true.
That's very true. How about you, Bernie? What are you advising people?
So I'm a little more on the ground floor. So I see people are struggling. The payments have gone up. I see their credit bureaus. They're in debt. We got $1 trillion of credit card debt in Canada, and they're defaulting. And in the old days I could refinance them, but that's going to come back because we're going to have to reset all this stuff. So I think people are finally slowing their habits, slowing their spending, so it's going to help inflation. But it's taken time. People are set in their old ways, and they just think money just comes, right? But those days are over. So I think once the psyche of everyone kind of calmed down, I think everything will reset kind of and get back to fairly normal. I don't think you'll ever see rates at 2% again. That's just not. No. I think we need it at 4, in the 4 range, just to keep a balanced market. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I heard rumors around the 3.85.
Yeah, high 3s, 4s.
I think 4s, reasonable.
Do you think they're going to keep that stress test higher?
Well, I think they just want to see what's after this little economic downturn is going to happen, and if they'll see if they change it. They're saying that it saved their ass, but saved their butt. But I'm not. I hope they don't, because it's very tough for the young people to get a home.
Yeah, no, it is. And it's actually interesting because what we're seeing now is we're seeing groups of people get homes. And I don't know if you guys are seeing this in your respective businesses, but what I'm seeing is parents who are retired, they're actually moving in with their divorced children. So it's quite interesting because being a divorcee myself now, what I've seen in the dating spectrum is a lot of guys, they're moving in and they're taking care of things with their parents. So if you guys are looking for other solutions to buying a property, because maybe you can't afford it on a single income, we're going to get back into that right after this break.
Looking for a mortgage? Let Bernie Klaser of Real Mortgage Associates do the work for you. Whether purchasing, refinancing, renewing, or first-time home buyers, Bernie Klaser will find the mortgage and rate to suit you, saving you time and money.
Jeff from Chillin' and Grillin' with Jeff here, and we are back for another incredible season of Chillin' and Grillin' with Jeff. We're going to tour some amazing backyards. We're going to meet up with some great folks, and we're going to cook some incredible food. Join us Thursdays at 7:30 for Chillin' and Grillin' with Jeff.
With clubs, leagues, and courts in every province and territory across Canada, squash is the sport for wall-to-wall fun, fitness, and friendship. From coast to coast to coast. Learn to play, and you'll want to do it every day. Squash. Play inside the box.
Whatever. Jack 102.3.
This is not a drill. This is happening.
Get ready, because a new season of The Old Man is coming soon to FX.
Do you recognize me now?
Need to catch up? Stream the entire first season on City TV Plus.
Hey everyone, welcome back. You've been watching Agent on Duty with myself, Stacey Pereira, and my guest today, Bernie Klaser from RMA Mortgages Andrew Perry from Revel Realty. Guys, thank you so much. You guys are returning guests too, which is awesome. I know, yeah, 3-time champion. And you got 4. Yeah. You hold the title because he is our title sponsor. So I have to mention that.
Hold the title.
Yeah, he does. He does hold the title. So in case you guys are just turning in, we've been talking about the real estate market, how things have been going, and what we think our future predictions are going to be. Now, one of the things that we were just getting into before break was how people are purchasing properties now. Because it's really interesting, like you had said, it's really hard for first-time home buyers, but it's also hard for people who are maybe going through divorce or they're going through a separation and they don't have that dual income. So some of the things that we've been seeing is divorced couples, whether it's the male or the female, they'll move in with some retired parents, and it's working well for the parents too because now they have someone that can help, you know, do the physical labor, that kind of stuff. Or maybe it might not be working well if your kid was kind of like the, give me a sandwich.
Meatloaf.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, one of the things that it's been an interesting solution for home ownership. But Bernie, you were saying that your friend actually has a new solution to that.
Yeah, so he's just about to launch this new website. It's a co-ownership website.
Okay.
So you would bring like 2 couples together, new home buyers that can't afford on their own, but you need 4 incomes to get like $1 million home. But or you buy like a large home and you split the home top and bottom. And he's got the legal agreement all done up. It's like a 40-page agreement where everything's talked about, and these people get home ownership. So it's 2 separate couples.
Wow, that's really interesting. And how many people are you allowed legally on title in Ontario?
I think it's 4, as far as I know. So that could be a problem if you need more than 4, but for sure it's 4, I think.
Yeah, so for families, if you've got like 12 people, you can't put 12 on title. No, negative. I mean, it would probably make a really cool frat house too, like if you're going to school.
Yeah.
That would be a really good investment for students, right?
It's crazy what they're paying for rent. $900 a room.
I cannot believe that.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's and that's the other thing too. Like, I feel like with our economy the way that it is today, we're just further increasing the debt of our young people. And I want to, not that we're not all young here, but I feel like our generation, Gen X and millennials, we were kind of put in that position because we were forced to go to university or college, whereas our parents' generation, they could get a job at the big 3, or they could get a realistic job without having to pay for education or post-secondary education, I should say. And then they were able to buy and afford cheaper housing. Like back in their day, it was like $40,000 for a decent home, $20,000 even.
Yeah,
like it's just nuts.
Yeah,
people got to realize when the houses were $40,000, and back in the 80s when the rates were 18%. 18% on $40,000, the payment's not that great.
No,
but 8% on $800,000 is massive.
Yeah,
yes,
so
that is.
It's unbelievable.
Do you guys have any? Not that you know Big Brother's watching or anything like that, but do you guys have any, I would say predictions, well not predictions, but do you have any clue or why you think that this happened? Why do you think that we're in this kind of economic downturn?
Well,
you go ahead, you go first.
I think at the end of the day, I posted this to my Instagram stories yesterday.
Why is everything always at the end of the day? What about the beginning of the day or like, you know, the middle of the day?
I know, it's a term that I've always said my entire life.
When you have your afternoon delight, go ahead.
I posted this on my stories yesterday on Instagram, and what I believe is that I think we could all agree that the rate of appreciation was getting way too out of control. So do I agree with how fast they raised everything so quickly and so high? Absolutely not. I think that's ridiculous. But we needed to do something, because if this had kept up, 5-10 years, our house would be worth $15 million. That's impossible, right? So I think it needed to be done, but do I think it's going to help anything? No, because I think as soon as those mortgage rates start dropping, because we have such a low inventory issue, that as soon as those rates start going down even a half a point, people are going to be competing again unless we do something about the amount of houses that we're building each year.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to get into that when we come back.
Think before you say it. Don't wind up like me. Imprisoned by your tongue. Doing 1 to 3. You got
Find out what's happening in your community by watching London City Council. Tuesdays at 1 p.m. on Rogers TV Channel 13 or streamed at rogerstv.com.
You sort of can't exist as an Indigenous person in North America without having been affected by colonization. And more specifically, Oneida, you see that with the recent water shortage that we had. But I do see our community really taking back our power when it comes to decolonizing, but I see it happening in all these different levels, whether it's bringing the language back into the home, learning these ways of knowing and being. I see people now traveling back to the homelands to reconnect with ceremony, and I think it's so beautiful to see, and it makes me excited for my community's future.
Thank you guys so much for coming back from break. I am with Bernie Glacier from RMA Mortgages and Andrew Perry from Revel Realty. So right before break, we were talking into why we thought this happened with our economy. So Bernie, I'm going to segue that over to you now. What are your thoughts on this? Why did this happen?
Well, the low interest rates fueled the higher prices, and easily cheap money made everybody go out and put pools in, buy cars, buy trailers, buy boats. Cheap money, refinance, and then the appreciation of the homes, I could keep going back and pull more equity out. And now with the higher rates, that has stopped. So the economy has stopped, which they need to do because it was getting out of control. There's just no new inventory being built, no new homes being built because people can't afford the $1 million homes. And the existing homes are just gonna, the prices they're not gonna shrink. It's not gonna go down. And it's gonna be an inventory problem. They gotta do something about building affordable housing, which that's the buzzword, but I don't know how they're gonna get affordable housing when it's $500,000 for a lot of land.
Well, what they're gonna have to do as well is they're gonna have to change the bylaws in towns to allow multi-generational or multi-families to live in one dwelling. So change it to a duplex or a triplex. They already tried to do that. But what happens when you bring more people into this situation? You need more infrastructure. Property taxes go up because they need to pay for that infrastructure. So it's just, imagine if you could just, like a 2-year-old, and you just draw this circle and you could just show it to the government and say, look at this circle. This affects this, cause and effect. Boom, boom, boom. I still don't know if anybody would get it.
I know, I'm so sorry. And I wish I could continue this conversation because I'm sure we can go on for a part 2 of this segment.
Yes, I know.
But guys, if anyone wanted to reach you and talk more about this, where can they reach you, Bernie?
They can, my website, just ask bernie.ca, or give me a call on my cell phone.
Okay. And how about you, Andrew?
At the Andrew Perry on Instagram.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am your host, Stacey Preer, and you've been watching Agent on Duty. We'll see you again next time.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
I did it.
I need it.
The hero gave it.
And I am alive.
As an organ donor, you can save up to 8 lives and enhance the lives of 75 others. Please go to our website. Pledge a gift of life. You'll be glad you did.
Rising from the ashes, spreading my wings wide. No more holding back, I've got nothing to hide. If you cross me once, you will feel my thunder shower. So don't mess with me, 'cause I've got the power. I've got the power.
The Bachelorette season premiere Monday, July 8th on City TV.
Welcome to Treat Yourself. We're your hosts, Terry and Lori.
We are here today at the beautiful Elevate Aesthetics located in the Richford Salon, which is right on the corner of Oxford and Richmond here in our beautiful city of London. We are here with owners Katie and Lauren, and they are going to show us their beautiful salon that they have here up on the second floor. And they're going to show us some of their amazing services that they offer, and one of them you're lucky enough to have it done on you.
Yes, I am. So stay tuned and don't forget to treat yourself. Welcome back to Treat Yourself. Today, we're here with Lauren and Katie at Elevated Aesthetics. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us. So we're so excited to be here today. It's absolutely beautiful in here, and I'm excited for you to tell our viewers a little bit about your business. How did you get started?
Yeah, so Katie and I actually met in the ER. We both worked as nurses there at Victoria Hospital. Basically from there, we also worked at a private plastic surgeon clinic, and that's where we started investing in aesthetics and injections.
Oh, super. So what services do you guys offer here?
So specifically in Elevate Aesthetics, we offer injectables such as filler, Botox, PRP, skin pen now we have as well. So, and we're going to be starting IND infusions actually next month as well, which is very exciting.
Great.
And then within the salon here at Richford, we have a plethora of services. So there's Russian nails, hair extensions, teeth whitening, tooth gems, makeup, application, and yeah.
Wow. That's great.
Oh, tell us a little bit about what service you're going to be demonstrating on me today.
Yeah, so today we're going to be focusing on something called PRP injections. So basically we're going to be taking a vial of your own blood and removing the plasma from that, which stimulates collagen reproduction, and then targeting certain areas such as your under eye and re-injecting it back into there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So is there anyone that shouldn't be having that treatment done? It seems, is it invasive?
It's actually, because it's a product of your own body, it's very natural. There's very minimal downtime. So we actually recommend that over doing a synthetic filler under the eye.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic.
Is there anything that should be done in preparation or after care?
So PRP preparation is pretty minimal, just making sure you're well hydrated. Staying away from any blood thinners or things like aspirin, ibuprofen, alcohol. Those will just increase your risks of bruising. It won't really change the treatment per se. But afterwards, you should be taking good care of your skin, washing your face gently, keeping the skin hydrated, and also avoiding alcohol and ibuprofen. Just to decrease your risk of bruising.
Katie, for how long do you recommend avoiding those things?
24 to 48 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, and everyone's different. Like your bruising can be quite minimal or it can be a little bit worse. It just really depends on the person. But things like icing afterwards as well can help with any discomfort or swelling that you experience. So yeah, I actually had the treatment 2 days ago. Katie tested it with me and my bruising was very minimal, and I just did a little icing each night and I feel great.
Yeah, you look fantastic.
Thank you.
That's super. So it seems like a pretty easy thing to have done. People just come in, they have it done, they leave looking amazing. Is this one of the services that you specialize in, or is there services that you absolutely love doing?
Yeah, so we really have a passion, honestly, for every type of injection and service we have here. We love doing filler and Botox as well, neurotoxin. The best thing about it, though, is that we always do it together. And I feel like our clients absolutely adore that. They kind of get a 2-for-1 deal.
Yeah, definitely.
Both have different experiences, different perspectives. And then when you put that together, the results are incredible. And it makes our job really, really fun to work together. And, that was a big part of wanting to start this business, was coming to work every day, having fun and loving what we're doing. And we're making that dream come true, honestly.
Yeah.
Do that like every single day. Like, we're building towards that goal and we're really excited about it.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, about PRP, so we kind of talked about it earlier. Can you just describe what it is? So you take the person's blood and you spin it to do something.
Yeah.
Well, what happens, or what's happening?
Yeah, so basically after we draw a vial of your blood, we put it in something called a centrifuge. It spins your blood for about 5 to 10 minutes, and it separates all of the particles and sediments we don't need, and then it keeps the plasma in another part of the tube. So we take out the plasma from the tube, and that's filled with growth factors that help promote elastin and collagen reproduction. So after we take that out, we re-inject it into a targeted area, and that can help improve scarring, minimize pores, discoloration, as well as fine lines and wrinkles.
Wow, awesome. That's great. So as soon as you say blood, I think, what if people are a little bit queasy about that? Is it something like, do they see it happening, or have you ever run into that where people are uncomfortable with it?
Yeah, so obviously there are a lot of people who are afraid of needles. We have a lot of techniques to use to make our clients feel comfortable. We have a stress ball that we get clients to use. That's a really good distraction. We use breathing techniques, as well as we have this little device. It's called a vibration device. You put it on part of your face or wherever we're injecting, and it's also like a distraction tool.
Okay.
It's very quick. It takes about 2 minutes to draw your blood. So it's not that hard.
Okay, great. And then what, is this used for any other treatments as well? Like, I know you said scarring and under the eye.
Okay, so PRP is a widely used procedure, not only in aesthetics and cosmetics. It's also used in medicine for orthopedics and, rejuvenating joints, etc. So what's so neat about it is that this is your own body, and we're going to be taking it from you, but also we can put it back into pretty much anywhere safely. And it can really help to brighten the skin, fine lines, wrinkles. If you're really, just not wanting to take the step to the filler, this is a very, very, very safe, good option that will give you very similar results.
So is this what they often refer to as a vampire facial?
Yeah, so actually we use something called a skin pen, and when you combine skin pen with PRP, that turns it into the vampire facial, which is what Kim Kardashian used, actually.
Okay, yeah. So what exactly, like how does that work on the skin? If you're doing the skin pen and the plasma?
Yeah, so to add on top of the microneedling, so with our skin pen, that is taking the pen all over your face, your neck. You can do your chest as well, back of the hand, and that is helping stimulate skin regeneration. But having the PRP added on top of that soaks into the skin, and it promotes the healing of that surface to be much, much faster. And what accelerates the microneedling that you've already had. So you're really getting that PRP deep into your pores, into your skin, and it's leaving you basically with a beautiful, youthful looking kind of glow. Minimizes your fine lines and wrinkles, and also helps treat against scars.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And again, it's natural, right?
Yeah.
You're putting that all on your face, on your skin, near your eyes, etc. But you don't have to be worried about it because it's your own body. So it was literally, PRP is literally the liquid gold.
Yeah.
We call it here. Yeah.
And so how often should somebody get this done?
Yes, to recommend 3 treatments, normally 4 to 6 weeks apart.
Okay.
And then after that, about every 18 months. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And then, of course, your regular skin regimen.
Yeah, adding on a skincare routine obviously will optimize your results. Here at Elevate Aesthetics, we use the Tidal skincare brand, and we just absolutely love it.
That's a great one.
Yeah, it's vegan and cruelty-free. It's just basic ingredients, things you can trust, and it feels amazing.
It's also a broad spectrum SPF, which is really what you want to utilize to prevent sun damage and obviously wrinkles.
So is there any, what is the most common age group that would have this done?
Honestly, anybody can get it. If you're doing it more at a younger age, let's say 20s to 30s, that's more for preventative measures. But it works really, really well. It also works really well for the older population. People who have concerns for, thick wrinkles or fine lines they already have. A lot of people enjoy. It helps with the fine lines around like your under and upper lip area as well. So older patients definitely benefit from this.
Okay, great.
We're really good.
Everyone's a good candidate.
Well, I'm a little bit jealous. I think that I'm gonna have to get this done next. I always say that when you get the treatment done, and I don't. But I am excited to see this done.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get started. And see this being done.
Let's do it.
So the good stuff is the yellow stuff?
That's our yellow gold.
That's our liquid gold. Platelets.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to inject back into you.
What are the other levels?
These are like sediments, actual red blood cells, white blood cells, all that. So we'll take that away and then we'll just do this part.
That's fine.
So basically, before aesthetics, this PRP was used a lot for injuries with athletes. They would re-inject the platelets into any injuries, so let's say a shoulder, maybe a wrist, even your back, and they started noticing that it was regenerating wound healing. And after that, they said, well, what else could we use this for? And that's when we realized fine lines, wrinkles, discoloration, any type of reproduction of those growth cells is gonna show great results. That is so wild. Okay, last little one on this side. Yeah, and you'll see like we only put a little bit per targeted area. So there is a little swelling with that. You'll see it kind of a little bit puff up, and once it's enough, we go to the next spot. And you see it immediately. Yeah. So you know exactly how much to put in. Exactly. Perfect. And typically you'll see the results after this about 3 to 4 weeks after. Okay. Now would you not suggest like a facial or anything too, like you don't want to pressure to it, right? Don't want to put too much pressure. Even if you're sleeping at night, try to have your head elevated to prevent the swelling. That will help a lot too. Sleep on your back. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, PRP is great, especially for that under eye area because it is a higher risk area. And if you're putting a synthetic filler versus your own product of your own body, it's quite incredible. Beautiful. Okay, all right, one eye done. How are you feeling?
Oh, great.
Good. Taking a little nap?
No, I wouldn't be sleeping.
Can you feel? What does it feel like?
I don't know, it's really hard to describe. Like I feel like the needle, but it doesn't, it's like a little pinch, but it's so that, it feels like it's being inflated. I don't know if that makes sense. And so would you recommend that I sleep on my back?
Yeah, a couple pillows too. Keep yourself elevated. That'll definitely help with swelling, and you can obviously ice tonight as well. So we've done the under eyes, and so now what are we doing? So now we're actually going to put the PRP injections also into the hair. By injecting PRP into the hair follicle, it actually increases the blood supply there, which will then thicken the hair. So it'll help stimulate natural hair growth. Okay. So can this be done on men and women? Yes, 100%. 100%. And then it's the same procedure as well for the under eye. Recommended 3 to 4 treatments, basically 4 weeks apart. And what kind of results would somebody get on their hairline? So definitely more thickening. It's more for someone who has, let's say, a receding or thin, fine hair. Okay. So we're just doing very superficial little blebs.
Well, thank you so much for having us today. This was so much fun. And Terry, your skin looks amazing. I can't wait to see the results as the weeks follow. So how can our viewers get in contact with you? So you can actually find us on our website at elevateinjectors.com. We also have a social media, which is Elevate Injectors for Instagram. And you can find our building on the corner of Oxford and Richmond. We are the first parking lot on the right as you turn onto Oxford. And there's free parking in the back, which is really great and very easily accessible. Well, thank you again so much for having us. This was so much fun. And up next, we are going to be visiting Alicia from Jova Medical Spa. And Alicia is going to be showing us a procedure to remove tattoos, which is something that we're asked about a lot of. You make that mistake when you're 18, 19 years old, and she is going to help us to correct that. So stay tuned and treat yourself.
Hi everyone, my name's Emily Febri. I'm also known as Ranger M. I'm an environmental communicator and educator, and I get to talk to a lot of different people about all things nature and conservation. I love to knowledge share, and that's what I want to do with you. So come on, let's go learn with Ranger M.
Was that 4 or 5? He's lost count and still thinks he can drive. Do you think he knows that when he is caught and charged with impaired driving, he'll lose his license and a lot more? If he gets in his car, he'll face costs exceeding $20,000. Does he realize he could have a criminal record for his choice to drive? And it could be much worse if he crashes. I wonder what he'll be thinking tomorrow.
Have a Holden 1 at 15.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
Pollinating Purpose is a show about supporting organizations who seek to have impact in the work that they do. Whether nonprofit, for-profit, or grassroots organization, you'll learn key considerations to starting or growing your social purpose business with longevity and sustainability in mind. Along the way, you'll also hear stories from folks who are doing similar work in their community and hearing from leaders in their field on how to best approach this work.
Welcome to Treat Yourself.
Welcome back to Treat Yourself. We have just come from Elevate Aesthetics, where Terry had the PRP done underneath his eyes for the dark circles, and your eyes look great.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, you know what? There's a little bit of bruising, but they said that was normal. But yeah, otherwise, it feels great, and I think it looks good too.
Yeah, it looks really, really good. And we're now here at Jova Medical Aesthetics, where we're meeting again with Alicia, one of our favorites. And Alicia is going to do a treatment that we're asked about quite often.
Yeah, I remember when you were 18 and you got that tattoo you probably shouldn't have, or you were dating a girl that maybe you're no longer with, and you wish you could reverse time?
Alicia's going to do that for you. So Alicia's going to show us a demonstration of tattoo removal. I'm really excited to see this.
Yeah.
And this might be something that you're going to have to treat yourself with. Welcome back to Treat Yourself. We are here again. Welcome back, Alicia from Jova Medical Aesthetics. So nice to have you. Thank you for having me again. And I just want to say congratulations on the 2023 Consumer Choice Award. Yes, thank you. We're very excited about that. Yes, we're very honored. Yes, thank you.
Congratulations. So today we're going to be talking about tattoo removal.
Yes.
So what can you tell us about that?
Yes, so we have brought in a new device. This is a gold standard in laser tattoo removal. It's called the PicoSure Pro. And this device treats tattoos very differently from standard lasers. So we're not using heat, we're using a pressure wave technology, Okay. Wow. So can anybody get this done? Are there certain tattoos you can't do? Really, we can treat all skin types, all skin tones, all skin colors, and we can treat tattoos on all areas of the body. So we do have clients that come in to remove face tattoos, body tattoos. We can remove new tattoo ink, old tattoo ink, and we can also treat tattoos to fade if clients are looking to have them covered.
Oh, okay. How many sessions would you say it normally takes?
So it depends on the size of the tattoo. It depends on the client. Everybody's different. There's lots of different characteristics. Essentially, probably about 4 to 6 sessions. We do offer packages of 3 and packages of 6, but on average, 4 to 6 sessions. Great. So I'm not a fan of pain. Yes.
Can you describe a little bit about what it feels like?
Right. So the actual treatment is very, very quick. This takes probably, if we're doing a small tattoo, which we'll be showing today, literally less than 30 seconds. So it's a very quick treatment. We offer complimentary consultations, and within that consultation, we'll assess the size of the tattoo. We'll go through pricing, and we'll chat about kind of what the session entails, aftercare and all of that. And then we give our clients numbing cream to take home. So the numbing cream we use is a compounded prescription grade numbing cream. So it works very, very well to keep our clients comfortable. They put that on a half an hour before they come in, and they're very comfortable throughout the treatment. So on average, on a pain scale of 0 to 10, we're looking at definitely less than 5.
Oh, great.
Good.
Super.
So afterwards, is there still pain, or is it something like, can it be exposed to the sun, or does it have to be covered at all times?
So we recommend that the client keeps the tattoo covered. So just like you would follow your aftercare after getting a tattoo, we want it to be covered with a non-stick gauze, which we do provide, and a topical ointment or cream for about a week. So clients can take that off to shower. They're going to use just lukewarm water, a gentle soap, and then they're going to reapply the gauze. And that can take about a week to heal. And after that, they can leave it open to the air. We don't want any sun exposure, and we don't want clients to be freshly tanned when they come in for their sessions as well.
Right. Okay. So I know you had said you can do every area, but what about like cosmetic tattoo?
Yeah, so this is really exciting as well. So we have lots of clients that have had microblading done that might have faded, or they're no longer wanting the look. Clients that have had maybe eyeliner, lip liner, things like that. The PicoSure Pro is also able to treat those areas. Now, it does pull pigment, so it will pull pigment from hair. So we do talk to clients about that, because it can pull the pigment from the hair that is there, but it's very temporary. And while that area heals and the hair grows back, their normal hair color is going to return.
Wow. So you can actually reverse these mistakes.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Very fast. The PicoSure Pro is very gentle, and it's very, very safe. And like I said, it is the gold standard right now for tattoo removal.
Okay, great.
I'm excited to see this.
Yeah.
So just quickly, how many treatments does somebody need typically? And can you give us like a ballpark prices?
So it really depends. The pricing is going to depend on the size of the tattoo. So we have package pricing for very tiny tattoos all the way up to very large tattoos. And of course, depending on the client, the sessions can range, but on average, about 4 to 6 sessions is what we're seeing for the black and darker colored inks. Some of the sunset colors, so your reds and orange and yellow, those can be a little bit tougher, and they could require more sessions, but everybody's different, so we always recommend coming in for a consultation.
Okay, super. And can you let the viewers know how they can get in contact with you as well?
So clients can reach out to us by phone. They can go to our website at www.jovamedicalaesthetics.com. We're also online we're also on social media, on Instagram and Facebook.
So we have Kelly here, our model. So she had a tattoo done years ago. And the issue that she does not love is just the quality of what it looks like now. So this is something that she'd like to have removed, and then perhaps she's going to cover it, or perhaps she just wants, fresh, clean skin there. So Kelly came in already numbed, and I've taken that off. We've cleaned the area. And you can see it's just a fairly small one. This is one we would probably consider like an extra small. Oh, here we go, Kelly.
You're fine. Oh, that looks amazing. That's so cool.
You doing okay, Kelly?
Look at that.
So most clients, it kind of feels a little bit spicy, maybe a little bit snappy.
So we can see it white. Is that, I can't remember what you call it. What is the white?
This is a frosting that we're seeing here. So I'm really just targeting the ink, but like I said, there's not going to be any risk of damaging the surrounding skin.
It's actually really interesting watching
You okay, Kelly?
because
Sorry.
the skin is completely fine. It's really just targeting the tattoo.
Yes. And there we go. How are you doing? Good. How was that?
That's fine.
And
Wow.
that's the gist of it. So you can see we've kind of just covered the area, and you're right. So although I came around here, right, it's kind of impossible not to get the surrounding skin. The surrounding skin is not going to be damaged at all.
Oh, wow.
She's going to have a bit of redness here, and it'll probably feel a little bit like a sunburn.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to put some aftercare cream on here. We're going to cover it with a non-stick gauze, and she's just going to leave that on pretty consistently over the next week. She can take it off to shower. She'll use just lukewarm water and a very gentle soap on that area. And then when she gets out, she'll pat it dry, and then she can recover it. Reapply the cream that we give for aftercare and recover it with the non-stick. And we'll see her back in 6 weeks. We can ensure at that time that this is going to be completely healed from the first session. Then we can go ahead and repeat another session.
Awesome.
Wow. So right now, what can Kelly expect as far as like an hour from now, 24 hours from now? Is this going to scab over?
Yes, it can. So it's really similar to after having a tattoo done. So that's the reason why we want to keep a good recovery cream or an ointment on it. Aquaphor is a really good option, and keep it covered, because we want to, as much as we can, prevent a lot of that scabbing. What can happen with the scabbing is that that can kind of lead to some scarring. So we also recommend that our clients, they just leave it alone. They're not going to pick, they're not going to use anything abrasive, any scrubs or anything like that, and allow it to fully heal on its own.
Okay.
Great.
So if somebody is having a tattoo removed, let's say they're getting married and they want a tattoo removed, when should they be booking? Like, how long is the entire process if they want it completely gone?
So if we average that most clients are going to need between 4 to 6 sessions, and those sessions need to be done about every 6 weeks apart.
Okay.
I would suggest that clients are coming in at least 6 to 9 months prior to a big event like that, if they're really wanting it to be completely gone.
Okay.
That being said, we can absolutely start the sessions, and you're going to see a great deal of fading prior to, and that might be a little bit easier to cover. But if they're wanting it completely gone for a big event, then it needs to be planned for.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, that looks amazing.
Yeah.
And that was pretty
Super easy. How are you doing? You okay? Yeah? Awesome. Thank you.
great.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, thank you so much for having us today. I know that we're so excited to see what the final results look like.
Yes, thank you. And we're excited to show you. And thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. And if you've made a mistake and you want it fixed, Alicia is the girl to see. And until next time, don't forget to treat yourself.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Hello, I'm Liz Dowdsville, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. In 2008, carbon monoxide, a deadly invisible gas, killed an entire family in our province. That tragedy led to a new law requiring homes with potential CO sources to have alarms. John Gignac's family members passed away that day, and he shares his story to save others.
Please make sure you have working CO alarms in your home. Protect your family today.
Playing whatever. Jack 102.3.
This is not a drill. This is happening.
Get ready because a new season of The Old Man is coming soon to FX.
Do you recognize me now?
Need to catch up? Stream the entire first season on City TV Plus.
Join the high-energy, bodyweight-based workouts of the Thunder Twins. Gerald and Harold will get all shapes and sizes up and moving.
You just don't go down as low.
No.
We want you to cross your body, though, and do a slight bend.
Catch the Thunder Mondays at noon.
Jeff from Chillin' and Grillin' with Jeff here. I'm in this industrial yard. It's an interesting location. My guys from Bogline Barbecue said I had to come up, meet them here to see what they're up to. So let's go find them and see what they're up to. By the way, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Chillin' and Grillin' with Jeff. Hey, here's a couple of Bogline shirts. Hey, bud, how you doing?
Hey, not bad, Jeff. How you doing?
Good. Good.
Hey,
to see you.
Jeff.
Hey, nice to meet you.
It's Chad.
Chad. So you said you got to come up and see what the new adventure is. So you didn't describe it exactly accurately. It's kind of an industrial yard, and I'm interested. What's going on?
This is the charcoal yard. So us at Bogline here, you know, we obviously build pits mostly.
Yeah.
We knew we wanted to add charcoal to the brand, but we were struggling to find the time to do that. And Chad here, like us, was working in the oil and gas industry. And one day over coffee, we were kind of discussing this idea of making charcoal.
Of course, you guys at Bogline would talk about, hey, let's have a beer and talk about making charcoal.
He was already making charcoal on a small scale at home, and he loves barbecue like we do, so it only made sense. But for us, we didn't have time. So what happened is a new company evolved out of it. But it's, you know, we work together on the branding end of it. But Bogline Bush Coal is run by the kiln master here, Chad.
I've never thought about it. I've been cooking on charcoal forever. I know obviously a lot of guys and gals that cook on charcoal. I've never thought to myself, where does charcoal come from? I can say this, I notice differences in quality. I don't know why I notice it, but you know, what the science is behind it, but I'll open a bag of charcoal and think, wow, I'll never buy this again, or I'll open one and say, this is really good. So walk us through charcoal. What are we seeing? What's the difference? What's the process? What makes good charcoal? What makes bad charcoal?
Well, as you said, I've cooked on charcoal for the past 30 years of my life as well, ever since I've been on my own. Again, Nick mentioned I was making my own charcoal for a lot of years. The problem I had with buying the store-bought charcoal was the quality. At the end of the day, you buy, 18-pound bag, you get 5 pounds of powder.
We've all dumped that into the bag, and
that's right.
Big cloud of charcoal dust. You got to walk away for 5 minutes.
There you're stuck with 5 pounds of charcoal that you can't use.
What about taste? Is charcoal going to affect the taste to any extent when we're cooking? If I do a steak on 2 different charcoals, am I going to notice it?
I believe, yeah. So with our charcoal, we take the bark off all our wood ahead of time before it goes into the kiln. In my opinion, it takes the smoke, the unnecessary smoke out of the charcoal. This stuff that we're making burns really hot, really clean. Essentially, if you want to add smoke flavor to your meat, you're going to have to add a little bit of smoking chips.
So that's interesting. We don't want to necessarily get an abundance of smoky flavor from the charcoal. We want to cook on the charcoal.
Yeah.
And if we want smoke, we're going to add.
That's correct. We're not looking to smoke with charcoal. We're looking to cook with charcoal.
And you're going to get some flavor from it. But in my opinion, the difference is the way it's manufactured. And like he said, things like removing the bark matters too. And also the source wood. You know, what wood are they really using? Is it good quality? And what process are they using? A lot of the inferior charcoals are made by actually igniting the wood, letting it burn, and then extinguishing it. But the problem with that is there's a really ideal temperature for charcoal production. And as soon as you exceed 800 degrees Fahrenheit, you start to lose quality and you start to lose yield. So, you lose BTUs per piece of charcoal, right? So there's a whole bunch of factors that play into it. But yeah, the wood that you start with and the process that you use are really gonna, you know, garbage in, garbage out.
Right.
You know,
so we're not just taking wood and burning it and then blowing it out kind of thing and taking that and putting it in a bag. There's
That's
a
right.
lot more to that process.
So the process is called pyrolysis, and what that is something that's been burned in the absence of oxygen. So the wood goes into a sealed drum, and the drum maintains a positive pressure. It starts with a wood fire underneath, and that positive pressure eventually comes off this top pipe, and it starts off as steam, the moisture from the wood.
Right.
But eventually it turns into gas. And you see that even in a campfire, you know, you'll see a jet of flame shooting out the side of a log.
Right.
It's the gases in the wood. And that's why a wood fire burns a lot hotter than charcoal. And charcoal has that low and slow, more longevity to it because that gas has been removed. And now you're just left with carbon.
So you're not actually burning the charcoal. The fire is outside of the box.
That's
and
correct.
It's the heat itself that's inside.
So
okay.
the wood gets loaded from the side, and Chad here uses the bark that comes off. Most charcoal manufacturers are going to use slab wood because it's cheap and, you know, easy to use.
Right.
In this case, the slab wood comes off, gets used as scrap underneath, and just the premium wood goes in the cook chamber.
Almost like an offset smoker. We've got a fire going outside of the firebox, but instead of having food inside, we've got wood.
That's right.
Going to burn it off, the gas. So what happens with the gas? What's actually causing this to burn if it's
So
oxygen
your wood
deficient?
inside comes up to a temperature of about 200 and 230 degrees. It starts to emit a white steam like we talked about. As the temperature comes up, the white steam, it turns into, like, you'll see almost a blue color come out. And
Where will we see that on here?
So when we start, we open this valve completely up. White steam emits off into the atmosphere.
Okay.
And it's coming off this pipe.
It's coming through this, coming through here, out of the inside, comes through here. Steam goes out that way. As the steam heats up at 530 degrees, the steam turns into a gas, which is it'll go yellow and really stinky, really strong, pungent smell. Okay. At that point, we close this valve and we open this valve. So our gas now is going back in, and it's lighting these three burners right here. These are essentially barbecue burners. It lights those three burners, which brings the temperature of the inside up to the optimal 750. We like to cook between 750 and 775 degrees.
So you're literally cooking. You use the term yourself. You're literally cooking, but you're cooking wood.
That's correct.
Right.
And the gas actually burns a lot harder. The wood fire alone underneath will never get it up to the temperature needed to achieve pyrolysis.
Right.
It's the gas. As soon as you flip to gas mode, that temperature comes up really fast.
Yeah. Okay.
And you're actually watching the temperature on the elbow, which has a gauge in it, which is directly in the flue gas. And you're going to see that that's you're monitoring the temperature of the gas coming off the cook chamber. There is gauges on each end, but they indicate more when it's finishing.
So how long does this process take?
Well, from start to finish, by the time we've got the wood into the point where we can load it into the machine, I would say we're about a 12-hour day.
About a 12-hour day. So
Yeah.
that's from loading it up to finishing it off.
Once it's
opening it up.
loaded, once it's sealed up, and we got the fire lit, we're about a 8 to 10 hour cook.
Okay, and then that has to cool off, obviously?
Yeah, so then we shut it in at night, obviously, before we leave. It'll sit probably close to 16 to 18 hours before we open the door to make sure. You don't want to introduce oxygen too quickly, as if you introduce oxygen too quickly, the charcoal inside will ignite, and we're in a big trouble if that happens. It'll bring the temperature inside of this thing up to a point where the machine won't even be able to handle it, and it will melt it down, essentially.
Okay, and then once it cools down, this is the manual label portion. Somebody's got to literally
We
show it
hand
out.
bag everything. We want to make sure that we're not getting that little tiny, the small stuff we talked about earlier. We're not getting that in our bag. That is our number one thing.
So what happens with all the leftover, the smaller stuff, the dust, the stuff the bark that you're burning underneath? What happens with all that?
Okay, so the bark that I burn underneath, it goes into my compost pile behind me here. It essentially will activate the charcoal and enrich the topsoil.
So you're mixing the charcoal right in, just putting it back into the environment.
That's right.
One of the best soil amendments in the world is charcoal. It's if you look at that under a microscope, it's very porous, almost looks like a sponge, and it allows a spot for microorganisms to live, and also it holds minerals and water. So especially in this region, commercial farming is hard on the soil. It strips everything right out of it, and we turn the soil so much that it kills a lot of the microorganisms that live in it. So charcoal is really beneficial to help repair that damage and amend poor soil into something usable.
You know, one of the things I notice is this block, I would call it creosote, and it looks like it produces a lot. Does that go to waste, or what's happening with this?
So Jeff, this is a knockout drum. So one of the things that, you know, even during the gasification process, you're still gonna have some moisture. So this comes down and comes straight down, and it shoots the moisture into the bottom of this drum. There's a valve in the back that draws it off, and it's wood liquor. It's a combination of water and tar. It's nasty looking stuff, but it actually has purposes too.
What do we use that for?
Well, one of the most common uses you'll see around here is on the back roads for dust control. Pulp and paper mills produce the exact same product, and they'll put it on the roads as an all-natural dust control. Back in the day, they used motor oil, which has obvious, or calcium.
Not as good for the environment, for sure.
Yep.
This is great, guys. Fantastic, super interesting. So I appreciate the time.
Yeah.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Hello, I am Rachel Burdan, and I am this week's guest on Pollinating Purpose.
The Bachelorette season premiere Monday, July 8th on City TV.
So let's talk about the wood itself. Is there a difference? Are we looking for oak or maple or pine, or what are you looking for when you're starting with the wood product?
Well, right now we're using a sugar maple brand as our main source of firewood right now that we're using.
Will it make a difference if you had oak, or is the finished product essentially the same?
The oak, and we do a blend. We have a blend of hickory, oak, and maple again. Just it matters with the density of the wood. Preferably this maple, it makes a really nice finished product. It's nice and shiny, hard once it's been exposed to the outside air.
Okay.
It hardens up real nice.
And what's interesting too, Jeff, is the blends and different species of wood really changes the cook process.
It sure
I was going to
does.
say, it affects the time probably.
It does, yeah.
You pretty well got to relearn each batch. Yeah. You know, if you're running the same wood all the time, and moisture level is important too. Like, you know, so we check the moisture level with a hydrometer.
Okay.
And you can put green wood in, it just takes longer. You got to remove all that moisture.
More
before
moisture to
pyrolysis
take out,
starts.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And you can feel this. This is like, that's a heavy piece of wood.
Surprisingly so. Yeah.
So the denser the wood, the denser the charcoal, and the more BTUs per piece of
the better off you are.
Yeah.
And so when you were talking earlier about the slab wood, this obviously the bark comes off.
That's right.
And now this is what's burning underneath it to start the process itself.
That's correct.
And then the leftover ash or dust from here goes back into the soil.
Yep. So most people don't take the time to do that, and you know why, right?
Well, their theory would be it's wood and it's creating something to put in the bag, and it's all about the weight, right?
But anytime you save time or convenience, there's always a sacrifice.
Right.
And whether that's with cooking or with charcoal, it all matters. So.
Yeah. What we're saying to the real grillos out there, we hear a lot of talk about, we've had you guys on, we've talked about barbecues, about smokers, about going with quality.
Yep.
We've had butchers on talking about the quality of meat.
Yep.
I think we've forgotten all this time until now is the quality of the charcoal. Like that's the missing piece. So that's what's interesting to me is, you know, we've got a fantastic barbecue. We've got some fantastic steaks to go on there, but we're cooking over lousy charcoal.
That's right.
Who knew?
And even with smokers, you know, the same results. The good wood makes for a good fire, and it all matters.
Yeah.
You know, with Bogline, our goal we've never really considered price. We always consider being the best.
Right. Well, we've looked at your barbecues and the quality and the workmanship that goes in. Some may argue is over the top. I wouldn't, but I would say, you know, you certainly haven't skipped anywhere when we've looked at the barbecues, and we've had some of the food that's come out of them, and it's been amazing. So,
Absolutely.
So am I going to see it, if we grab some bags of store-bought charcoal and your bog line and we dump some on the table, am I going to see a difference?
Yep.
I'm going to put you guys on the spot right now. Am I going to see a difference?
Yep.
All right, let's check this out.
I'm Scott Navarro, a producer here at Rogers TV, and I just want to say thank you to all the volunteers that we have that put on our shows. Whether that's hosts in front of the camera or volunteers behind the scenes, we couldn't do it without you, so I just want to say thanks.
Hi everyone, my name's Emily Febry. I'm also known as Ranger M. I'm an environmental communicator and educator, and I get to talk to a lot of different people about all things nature and conservation. I love to knowledge share, and that's what I want to do with you. So come on, let's go learn with Ranger M.
Sports is life. It's clear cut. Everything's out in the open. There's nowhere to hide. I had to prove myself more than anyone else.
You must be so proud of your son. He's gonna go pro. The sky's the limit.
There's always a winner and a loser.
You cannot reach the sky in broken cleats.
Of course, I always want to be the winner. And I did reach the sky.
Norman Kwong, the first Chinese-Canadian professional football player, still holds records to this day. He retired from the sport in 1960 and later became Lieutenant Governor of Alberta.
All right, so we got 3 bags of charcoal here, and I'd like to, like as I said, I'll put you guys on the spot. Like I'm gonna open these up, and we're gonna pour them on the table, and let's see what the difference is. And I don't know about you, but I'm sure people watching this right now, nobody in the history of charcoal has ever successfully opened the charcoal bag this way.
Yeah.
I think you're the only guy who actually knows the secret.
I always struggle with this. I don't know what this... I ended up tearing them. A lot of the time if I have a knife...
So here's the trick that I've discovered. You take the string right here, you do nothing with it, and then you just tear the top open.
I got this one going here. Now, anyways, it's always a challenge.
Yeah.
And then your bag drips.
Yeah. So
show them a bog line bag.
Bog line bag.
Looks the same to me.
We have a little strip of paper right here on the bog line bag. We just peel it back like this and pull. Bag's open.
Nice. So what do we want to do? Do we want to dump 3 piles of charcoal on the table here?
I think that would be a bad idea.
Let's start with the blue bag.
Let's start with the blue bag? Okay.
Yeah.
Dump that out, Jeff.
Yeah, look at the amount of dust coming out of there. See, this is what makes me crazy. Look at this.
That drives me nuts, too.
Yeah.
You're stuck with this stuff down here.
Yeah, and I like to use Kamado grills, and I find that pieces like this, which is the majority of it, they're so small that they don't allow for proper airflow on the fire grill.
Yeah, same with the big green egg. As you know, I cook on that, but a lot of this from this charcoal is going to end up going right through the fire grate on the bottom.
That's right.
I'm never going to get any use out of this.
Not only that, but these bags are a lot bigger too. So most bags on the market are either 8, 17. These ones are 20 pounds.
Let's get some.
Okay, just stop here for a second, because right away I noticed a big difference. Look at what we had coming out of the other one, all the small stuff. Look at this, the consistency of the size. So on this one over here, I've got 2 pieces that fell out. Big difference right away.
Let's look at the quality.
Yeah.
That's my selling feature.
You know, these are big pieces. If I don't want that piece, I can break it. You know, I can build my fire how I want it.
And here I can see this one, the bark, right? Yeah.
You notice the bark on all of this wood here. That's, you know, that's where you're getting all this little tiny stuff here that doesn't burn.
Yeah, and so this is going to produce too much smoke.
That's right. That's gonna smoke like crazy.
Yeah.
Also, these big brands, there's an additive to the charcoal that is for an accelerant when you're starting it.
Oh, really?
This here stuff is 100% natural. There is no accelerant added to it.
See the shine?
Well, I was going to ask you about that, right? So
that wood's been lit on fire and extinguished. This has never been on fire.
Yeah, look at the difference.
You can see the difference.
Yeah, it's almost, this one's almost shinier, if you will, or kind of cleaner looking. Looking at the table, how much, almost no dust, there's going to be some.
Yeah.
The amount of dust they have right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing over here.
Same
the dust,
thing over there.
The powder more that blew off of this as we were pouring it on. From my perspective, barely worth putting this in my smoker.
Yeah,
that's just going to fall right through the bottom.
This stuff is no good.
Yeah.
You want to dump all this out?
You can, yeah. Feel free. Add it right to the table. You're just not getting them fines.
This is the bottom.
Still don't have all that dust and powder blowing all over the place.
That's right.
Big difference. Much more consistent in size.
That's right.
Yep.
Dig to the bottom of this pile. You know, you got a little tiny bit down there.
Well, you're gonna get some, right?
That.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a little tiny bit. Dig to the bottom of this pile. Look at what you're left with. There's the amount of dust you're gonna get with that. That's the stuff you're getting out of the bottom of the off brands.
Well, I've been cooking for a few years on a barbecue for sure, on a smoker and a charcoal grill, and just looking at the 3 piles right now, if I was going to take charcoal home, I want this. It just looks like a better quality. It's hard to explain, I guess, but it just, when you were dumping it out, you could see the difference. This is kind of dull. A lot of the bark on here, another piece that has a lot of bark. A lot of dust. Just, it's a lot cleaner. I mean, look at the difference here. Again, I'd much rather cook on this stuff. Speaking of cooking, I see we have a charcoal griller. Is that just for effect, or are we going to waste all this charcoal?
I think
might know how to run it there.
Let's try and fire it up.
Got some tasty steaks or something to throw in there?
Yeah.
Well, let's put this charcoal to work.
Absolutely.
All right.
I see, from my perspective, a resurgence in Oneida's participation with land-based learning and sort of coming back to our original ways of knowing and being. And that makes me feel good because it's a lot of like community member initiatives, whether learning how to grow your own crops, to be able to have some food sovereignty, or doing, you know, I see there's like food kitchens or food groups, or they're planting trees. Like a lot of really great initiatives are happening. So I feel like we're coming back to our original way and our original relationship with the land and the water.
We're getting ready to throw the steaks on.
Yeah.
I thought you lost your mind for a minute because you had this sitting over here, and I think it was lighting. I don't see smoke and everything, but there's a lot of heat in there. Like that is red.
It doesn't smoke.
Where's all the smoke?
So what you see when you're burning charcoal, the gas that comes off is what they call VOCs, or volatile organic compounds.
Right.
And when you light a charcoal that isn't completely combusted, and what happens is the other method, they light it on fire, they extinguish it. It probably isn't quite done in the middle, and that's why that stuff's hard to break. What that means is this is a complete pyrolysis, and when you light a green egg or whatever type of barbecue and it's smoking, that's what they call VOCs burning off, and it gives you that foul taste.
Right.
You know, if you put your meat on when charcoal's smoking, it's not good.
Yeah, I get that bitterness. I actually stay away from the smoky, and I'm going to be curious to see if this makes a difference, because as much as I cook and grill and smoke, I don't like an overwhelming smoky flavor, and it comes too often. I don't want it. I'm trying to get rid of it.
Yep. But, so if you got to add smoke flavor to this.
So that's a lot of heat coming up out of there. So perfect. You got some steaks, some little shrimp I see here.
Yeah,
and,
some little guys.
We're standing in the yard making charcoal. You have to test the product, make sure it works good. This is a quality assurance portion.
That's correct. Yeah.
Don't attempt this at home. This is all quality assurance. So what are you going to do?
I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil on these steaks, a little bit on these guys.
Can never put too much olive oil.
No. I just got simple salt and pepper.
Keep it simple. The meat should speak for itself.
That's right.
So this will give us a good chance to see if there's, I'm really going to be looking to see if I'm tasting something different. So I'm getting that bitterness from the smoke. Yeah. Although we don't have any smoke, so I'm going to guess we're not going to get a lot.
I was just going to say smoke's not going to be your issue here.
Yeah.
Open the lid here. 500 degrees, we should be good for searing off some steaks.
You know, you expect to see that bunch of smoke coming out?
None, just pure heat.
Oh, and that's what we like to hear, the sizzle. So somebody's gonna say, you know, we're just carnivores, but we're not. We have some vegetables coming up as well.
A little bit of vegetables coming up. Again, we're just gonna give these guys a little squeeze of lemon. Again, just some salt and pepper. I'll just throw these on around the outside. Give those a few more minutes before we give them a flip.
I gotta tell you, you know your way around the grill. This looks fantastic. And it cooked up quick and hot. I was amazed at how quickly the temperature came to the right spot on here. We got some great charring, some great searing going on. That's fantastic. I'm totally going to judge you on the taste now.
Please.
I want to see if I, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not a huge fan of that smoky flavor, that smokiness, because a lot of times it's bitter.
Yep.
And I think it's overdone.
That's right.
Jump in, guys. Let's see if we can tell a difference. This one's got my name written all over it.
I wish these shrimp were a bit bigger, but...
Yeah, you know, got to rough it sometimes, right? It's perfect. You actually get no smokiness.
No.
Nope. All I taste is the steak. That is absolutely fantastic. Well, I'm convinced. I'll tell you what. We talked about doing an episode on charcoal. As we said, we weren't sure. Could we get a whole episode out of it? The process is amazing. It's so simple, but there's a lot of things going on. The proof is in the pudding at the end of the day, as I say just about on every show. It's all about the taste. You can tell me what you want to tell me about, but it's all about the taste when we're done, right?
That's right.
So we cooked on it. We saw the difference on the charcoals. We're cooking on it. The difference is absolutely amazing. So, hey, listen, thanks for all the information. We appreciate everything.
No problem.
We're going to dig into this. Thanks for inviting us back. I'm always amazed to see what you guys got on the grill. So when your next adventure comes along, give me a shout.
We'll let you know, Jeff.
You keep cooking good food like this, I'm here every time. Perfect. Thanks, guys. We're here with Nathan from the Canadian Barbecue Boys. He's going to spend some time with us talking about maintaining, cleaning, and just generally looking after our barbecues. I think this is an area that, as barbecue cooks and grillers, we overlook sometimes. Nathan, how you doing?
Nice to meet you, Jeff.
Thanks for joining us today, man. Yeah, appreciate it. So it's the beginning of the season. Maybe I didn't use my barbecue all winter. What do I need to be aware of? What do I need to look at?
Yeah, well, it scares people, especially, you know, not as common grills, what actually is in that barbecue. You know, that's the main place where rodents find their homes during the winter. We get in there, we're Canada's largest professional grill cleaning company. Just kind of, you know, getting in there. I mean, very minor maintenance. The main things you want to do is just scrape off that initial layer of grease and grime there. So you can use your, you know, common, any kind of household scraper here. Just kind of get in there, make sure you're getting off that initial layer. What we like to use is also steel wool. Just these little things here. You can see a difference there already between that.
I was just going to say, you can, the first two you hit, you can see a big difference. You hardly put any muscle into it. Exactly. It's a big difference, so yeah.
The other things are, you know, obviously the top grate here. You want to kind of get in the sides as well. A lot of the grill brushes that you have will be equipped with the metal sides here. It even has the little lines in there for you to get in there and scrape them off as well.
We want to look for lines that may be clogged or rodents and nests, anything that's just, you know, that shouldn't be there, I guess.
Exactly, yeah. You want to take out the drip tray at the bottom. Yours, you did a great job. You've already caged it off. Obviously, you said you had a raccoon there at one point.
Should we look at bringing in a professional service like yourself? Should we look at, there's a lot more to it than just scraping the grill? Is that what the advice would be?
For sure. I mean, there's only so much you can do. I mean, you know, the main reason our service exists is because homeowners are so busy, right? You've got work. You really don't want to open it up in the spring. You'd rather just enjoy the weather. And that's when we get in there, we get our hands dirty, you know, do it for you. There's also a limited amount that you know how to do, right? You might not necessarily be able to get into the main areas where we do see the most grease fires, right? Where it's built up. We've seen it built up that thick in the bottom of people just not maintaining it properly. Also, it could take you, 8 hours to take it all apart, try and clean it. If you're power washing it, then, your entire patio, everything's going to be disgusting. So yeah, I mean, we kind of get a little bit more into it than, the average griller would.
So I've got my barbecue opened up, no nests. Going to give it a good clean, going to scrape it out, make sure nothing catches on fire. Try to scrape out those errant pieces of asparagus that fell through the grill that are still kicking around down there. We'll get it ready, get it all fired up for a new barbecue season.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Nathan. Appreciate it.
Yeah, right, thank you.
Take care.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Hi, can I take your order? Hello?
Oh, hey. Wait, what was the question?
Let me guess. One driving high combo, extra baked?
No. Could I get a burger with a side of fries?
Think you're a better driver when you're high? Think again. Smoking weed affects reaction time and concentration. A message from Mad Canada.
Whatever. Jack 102.3.
This is not a drill. This is happening.
Get ready because a new season of The Old Man is coming soon to FX.
Do you recognize me now?
Need to catch up? Stream the entire first season on City TV Plus.
Well, there is no love lost between these two competitors.
Absolutely not. We are starting off this episode of Hammerlock Pure Wrestling with a bang. Return match, and boy, was that personal. The last time these two women met, ending in a disqualification. My apologies.
Double count out. They took it to the outside, the picnic tables, the, 10th row, wherever they were. They were not caring about staying in the ring, that's for sure.
Nowhere in the building was safe. These two just wanted to beat the holy heck out of each other, and now we're letting them do it. It's no disqualification action, folks.
Vanna Black bringing that same attitude that we saw in her debut here in Hammerlock Pure Wrestling. Referee checking things out. And you can see the attitude as she waits in the corner here, not impressed with her opponent. They just want to get at each other, exactly. I'd imagine,
Seeming
after.
a little calm, cool, and collected, ready to fight here is Vanna Black.
And here she is, Miley, and she's got treats with her. We are at Job Site Brewing Company here in Stratford.
Maybe a little bit of liquid motivation for the fans here to cheer Miley on in this match.
How do you win friends? How do you win support? A couple brewskis will do it.
Yep. A 12-ounce can go a long way.
Who wants it? Loudest cheer gets the can from Miley here. She's having fun already. You know, the thing about Miley is we see how much fun she has outside of the ring, but when she gets in the ring, she still mixes a little fun in there, but definitely a lot of business as well. She can get it done in the ring.
That's exactly it. You can almost see a gear turning in Miley, switching into a new one, and really just picking up that intensity while having some fun along the way.
You see Vanna Black making her way to the center of the ring already, wants to get things started here.
Vanna Black wants to waste no time, and
there it is, before the bell. We knew they'd wanted to get at each other. Vanna Black has had enough with some elbows to the face of Miley.
And the rules are very important here in Hammerlock Pure Wrestling, folks, but this match is no disqualification. Any other time, Vanna would have just received a disqualification. Not here.
Hammerlock Pure Wrestling management basically forced to make it a no disqualification match here. They saw what went down the first time these two met.
There must be a winner here at the Job Site Brewing Company.
Snap suplex here from Vanna Black. A little bit of hair grabbing there earlier too, but as we mentioned, no DQ.
You can take that rule book and you can throw it right over the top rope today.
Arm drags there, and Miley getting her smile back for the moment here as she's in control. And right back up to her feet.
And back right to the hair.
Referee trying to step in and bring some kind of rules, I guess, to this match,
Rules
even though there
order?
is no rules. Stomping on the arm now. Miley with us. It's a little bit scary when Miley has that smile on her face and, you know, throwing out the punishment here on
I'm feeling
Vanna Black.
intimidated over here. It almost seems like the more pain she causes, the bigger that smile gets.
Absolutely. It fuels her. And the crowd, enjoying their free beer, is willing her on as well. Crushing the joints and the elbow right now of Vanna Black.
Miley came into this match with a game plan and so far executing it perfectly.
Ducks under a couple clotheslines. Shoulder tackle takes her down. 1, 2. A quick 2 count.
Just 2, but you can see Vanna going right to that shoulder.
There's no way she's going to stay down this early. She's been thinking about this, probably pacing around wherever she's been, waiting to get back at Miley after the heated encounter they had recently on Hammerlock Pure Wrestling. Over the top.
Almost got a submission in the corner there. Very innovative offense by Vanna Black.
Snapper over the top. And Vanna now firing up off the ropes. 2 count on Miley. Remember, if you do want to see the first encounter with Miley and Vanna Black, you can do that, Keith.
You can. Just head over to Hammerlock Pure Wrestling on YouTube, and you can check that match out in its entirety. And folks, believe me, you don't want to miss it.
Miley dragging herself up on the second rope here.
Just using
Choking her
every
out.
part of the ring to torture Miley here.
And some blows in the corner. You see the smile from Miley fading at the moment.
Exactly. A face of pain taking over Miley.
Shot to the face.
But ready to get back in this match.
Vanna Black walked into that boot. Over the top, rolls her up.
Sunset flip and only 2. You have to imagine, though, with that early work that Miley did on Black's arms, those have to hurt. Every time she kicks out, I imagine there's a little lightning bolt of pain going through her body.
She's feeling it, that's for sure. Quick 2 count. Miley kicks out once again. The center of the ring. Full house here at Jobsite Brewing Company in Stratford. Great partners with Hammerlock Pure Wrestling. And we love bringing this action to you right here on Rogers TV. Into the corner.
Huge shoulder tackle by Vanna Black. My
To the
goodness,
midsection,
just
drops her.
taking the wind out of Miley.
In a very vulnerable position right now. Miley in that corner right on the bottom turnbuckle. And takes a shot. Drops her right under the bottom rope. Dragged back to the center of the ring.
Miley looks out. Could this be it? No, only 2.
2 count. Shoulder is up.
You can see the frustration going on Black's face.
You can see the glassy eye look on Miley's face right now after that shot in the corner. Off the ropes, back elbow. Miley went down hard on that shot.
Absolutely.
1, 2. 2 count, she is back up.
But going right into it, almost like a chokehold. I understand this is no disqualification, but my goodness.
Miley looking for the referee, saying that this is a choke. Not much he can do about it. The referee is just there to
ease things along.
Count
Yeah,
3.
he's got to count a pin. He sees
Watch
the
for a tap
submission.
out. Back up to her feet. Shots to the midsection now, and oh, the hair straight down to the mat.
Nothing fair about that, folks.
Miley got a full big head of hair, and Vanna Black thought, you know what, I'm going to take advantage of this situation. You know, the thing is, Vanna, very well versed in the ring, as you can see, but not above grabbing a handful of hair or something like that if she's able to.
Absolutely. You know, in a return match like this where the stakes are high, sometimes you do what you got to do to get that win.
We got a Texas cloverleaf.
Wow.
And Miley nowhere to go.
Now it looked like she was thinking of tapping there.
Thinking about it. Decided to will herself on here.
Just the way her back is stretched there. My goodness, Vanna has that locked in tight.
The angle, and she's just wrenching. Releases the hold. Miley on the shoulders, drops back, went for a German suplex, blocked.
Vanna showing her strength there.
Almost event, trying to duck out of the way.
And Miley showing her determination, but Vanna is right there to say no. Here is a shoulder to your midsection.
Thrown back into the corner, top rope now. Miley nowhere to go.
Oh! Nowhere to go but down, you mean.
On the back, in the middle of the ring. 2 count only. Miley is one of these times maybe not going to be able to kick out, but at the moment,
still in this fight.
And those vicious elbows and forearms right to the face now, the bridge of the nose of Miley.
Vanna Black just like a shark who's found her prey.
Off the ropes, out of the way, Miley.
Still
meet in the middle.
Oh my goodness, both women down after that huge collision.
Double cross body. It looks like both women had the same idea.
Have to imagine that took the wind right out of both of their sails.
Referee now counting as they try to come to and realize exactly where they are.
Will themselves back up, and you have to imagine whoever gets up first, huge advantage going into the late stages of this match.
Vanna Black to her knees, so is Miley. Miley just edging out Vanna. Shot for shot now.
Sometimes all it takes is a good old stiff punch to the face.
Miley firing up on the shoulders. And dropped 1, 2. Vanna barely getting the shoulder up on that one.
That's about as close as it gets, folks. 2.99. Vanna Black still in this. Miley might be wondering what she needs to do to put this one away.
Into the corner.
You can see a little ferocity behind that smile now.
Absolutely. It's more of a devilish grin here. Still having fun, but
fun in the way that she's hurting her opponents while she's doing it. My goodness.
Monkey flip over the top. And Miley now taking control of this matchup. For the moment, hangs onto the ropes. Good decision there.
Takes Vanna's knee.
Vanna down on the second rope. 619. And steps back in very confidently. Miley going up now. Second rope crossbody. 1, 2. No.
So close. Only 2.
Crowd thought Miley had that one.
Absolutely. I thought Miley had that one, but Vanna Black said, no, you don't.
And Miley now looking for the smile spiral. Dropped face first. 1,
line 2. Only 2. Little bit of fight left in Miley.
How the tables have turned in an instant.
My goodness, just the force behind that flatliner from Vanna Black. I'm amazed Miley kicked out of that one.
And now the submission, like a Rings of Saturn. Bending the arms, taking away both arms, and somehow Miley able to stretch out.
Referee's discretion, folks. He tells Vanna Black to break the hold. Vanna needs to break it.
Not without a little conversation, though.
Absolutely.
And now just toying with Miley, those kicks to the head. Shot for shot, the amount of forearms that have been dropped and connected in this match.
You can tell how personal this one is, folks.
Using the full momentum backwards on the ropes, kick to the face, stunner. Vanna Black saw her opening and she took it.
And she was rewarded. That's a new one for me, using the momentum from the ropes just to hit your opponent that little bit harder.
You got to do what you got to do, and we are in familiar territory here now. This is how their last matchup went. Off the ring post.
There are no countouts in this match. There must be a winner.
Off the bar top. Here at Jobsite Brewing in Stratford.
They could even end up on the main street of Stratford. There must be a winner, folks.
Don't you dare waste that beer. I've had it. It's delicious. Miley says, that's mine. Thank you. I'll finish that later. Let me finish you first. Crowd right behind Miley now. How did I know that chaos like this was going to happen the next time these two met?
Yeah, it was inevitable. You know, we started out this match pretty fair, but they are in here for a fight. The second those forearms started trading back and forth, we just switched into a whole different mode here.
Smile spiral! 2! And the kick out!
Only 2? Unbelievable!
Miley shocked that Vanna White was able to somehow, some way get a shoulder up on that one. She hit it perfectly.
Absolutely.
Suplex over the top.
Where there's one amigo, there must be two more. There's number 2.
And can she finish it for the trio?
Rolling the hips. And what goes up?
Blocked. And over the other way for Vanna Black now, able to stop that in its tracks. Back and forth, back and forth. Flipped over the top. And into the corner with the arms locked behind.
Very innovative by Miley there.
But look out, Vanna Black making...
Miley might have taken a little too much time to gain her bearings there. Now into a choke by Vanna Black. My goodness.
A choke on the back, but Miley's still on her feet.
Just the pressure that Miley must be feeling right now. All of Vanna Black's weight on her.
Using the ring to her advantage there.
I don't know how much Miley can take of this. My goodness.
Oh, she's in trouble now.
Got the legs wrapped around her.
Swaying one way and the other. You see her gasping for air. Drops the arm twice. Here it is. No, it's not.
Little bit of life left in Miley.
Miley's still trapped in the hold, though.
That's exactly it. You have some life left in you, but will it be quickly drained away?
There
and
it
that's
is.
it, folks.
There it is. Vanna Black able to tap out Miley. That's all she had left at the moment. The arm dropped twice. She fired up, but Vanna Black never released the hold.
Miley leaving it all in the ring, but it just wasn't enough tonight, folks. Huge win for Vanna Black on this one.
Massive, brand new to Hammerlock Pure Wrestling. And she's going back to finish the beer she opened.
Post-match celebration there from Vanna Black.
What a matchup. And we knew Vanna Black would be talking all the way back to the dressing room. We'll be back with more Hammerlock Pure Wrestling.
Don't miss the opportunity to see Hammerlock Pure Wrestling live. Visit hammerlockpurewrestling.com to see all the exciting upcoming events.
And there he is, the Moondog himself, Ethan Dukes, making his way to the ring here at Job Site Brewing in Stratford. Hammerlock Pure Wrestling action.
Dukes wasting no time to get in the ring. He looks like he is ready to fight, folks.
Can the ring even contain him? We have had, in the past, Hammerlock Pure Wrestling rings. The top rope blew out in a match. Remember that with the Drifters and Books and Looks in the past.
How could I forget that?
Ethan Dukes testing those ropes right now before the matchup even starts.
Looking sturdy, though, but those ropes are going to have a test in this contest. Two powerhouses ready to meet head-on.
And remember, if you want to see any other past matches, Hammerlock Pure Wrestling on YouTube, you'll see this man in a few of them. A ball of fire on the way to the ring himself. It's the Honorable One, Brian White.
Brian White coming up a little short last week in our #1 contenders contest, but he is ready to get right back in that title picture. So is Ethan Dukes, for that matter. You know, in Hammerlock Pure Wrestling, you're one incredible performance away from just being right back in that title picture, and both men are looking to do that this evening.
And I know Brian's really been taking care and rehabbing that knee that Vikram Prasher went after.
Absolutely. You have to know that Ethan Dukes watched that match as well. Knows that that might be an easy target on the Honorable One.
Now, if you're watching and you're recognizing the Honorable One, Brian White, well, we'll explain where you may have seen him in just a moment. The Honorable Brian White, a city councilor.
Yeah, he might be representing you in your area.
In the Sarnia area. And just happens to be one of the stars of Hammerlock Pure Wrestling here as well, as they lock up in the middle of the ring.
You have to imagine it's not too hard for him to get a motion passed in council there.
Absolutely. Ethan Dukes saying you're not going to get anything passed with me, though.
Both men kind of just testing each other in the early moments of this match.
Dukes looking to go for the elbow, break the hands. Breaking the hands works, so now he's in control. Drop down face first. Dukes eats the mat here at Hammerlock Pure Wrestling.
Hard for a big man to show off his strength when he's on the ground, face down. Brian White knows that, and that's where he wants Ethan Dukes to be with the quick cover.
Quick cover, kick out, Ethan Dukes. Dukes coming from wrestling royalty, you might want to say, in the area here with his father, Tyson Dukes.
Those are big shoes to fill for our first Hammerlock Pure Wrestling champion. But Ethan Dukes looking to cement his own legacy here. And Brian White stands in his way.
And, you know, his father trained many of the men in Hammerlock Pure Wrestling, men and women in Hammerlock Pure Wrestling.
Now, do you think that gives Ethan Dukes an advantage? Because he's seen most of that training take place.
It could, or is it a disadvantage? Because maybe his father put in a little more time with some of the other superstars. Who knows, right?
It's tough to say.
Brian White in control on the ground, on the mat here. Ethan Dukes. Big man gets the legs up around the neck and is able to quickly get out of that submission.
And just using his legs to choke the life out of White.
Legs like a couple of tree trunks coming together here around the throat and the head, even just squeezing the head of the Honorable One.
I have to imagine there's not a lot of air going through those legs right now.
Both men back up.
Brian White showing his submission prowess here.
Stretching him out with the mandatory compliance.
Locking it in early.
And you can see stretching the arms out, using all the strength he has to bend Ethan Dukes in all the wrong places.
Have to imagine that took the wind out of Dukes early as well.
Brian White going for his signature submission early on in the match here.
Absolutely looking for an easy win, but Ethan Dukes still has a lot left in the tank.
Right, headlock down on one knee.
Dukes just wrenching at Brian White's head. Said, you want to get me in a submission? Well, here's one for yourself. I'm going to wear you down. I'm going to tear you apart.
That's the game plan. It's simple for Ethan Dukes. When he comes to the ring, he has one simple thing in mind. Tear you apart, get the job done.
Yep. Inflict hurt, bring pain, win match.
The problem is Brian White chasing after as well, trying to get back in that title picture. That's what it's all about. These men trying to climb the food chain, if you will, here in Hammerlock Pure Wrestling.
Exactly. You have to imagine whoever wins this match is going to be on the short list of #1 contender possibilities.
Off the ropes, big man taking down Brian White. And Ethan Dukes across the ropes, ducking that clothesline, blocking maybe a hip toss there.
Dukes going for a huge forearm there. White saying not today.
Spinning him around,
just
fighting for control.
Dukes around here.
And drops him down just like that.
He's
got his own arm wrapped around his...
Almost looks like a modified $1 Million Dream there. Cobra Clutch, whatever you want to call it, it's effective.
He got into that out of nowhere, not the traditional way. He just made it happen.
He almost used Ethan Dukes' body to put himself in it in a way.
Big splash in the corner now from Ethan Dukes.
Nothing
dropping Brian
that,
White.
Folks.
1, 2.
Just 2 count.
And the honorable one getting the shoulder up here, but
now just disrespect from Ethan Dukes, rubbing his face or his boot against the honorable one's face.
The boot across the bridge of the nose and the jaw. Dragging him up with the big club across the back now.
Just discombobulating White in every opportunity.
Headbutt to the back of the neck. That is not going to feel good. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. Little closer to 3 than Brian White would have liked on that one.
Yep, you can see the match starting to take its toll on both these competitors.
Now, do you think Ethan Dukes is thinking about that title in this match, or is he just thinking about pain at this point?
Well, there's long-term goals and short-term goals in life, and I would say long-term goal championship, short-term goal pain, absolutely.
Of course, our Hammerlock Pure Wrestling champion is Rodney Matthews.
And Matthews will be in action up next against the #1 contender, winning that match against Brian White last week, Vikram Prasher.
Yeah, we'll get into that in our main event. Of course, this is Rodney Matthews' first title defense as well, but you know, he may get through tonight later on, but looks like he may have these men to worry about in his near future, too.
That's what I was going to say. I imagine whoever wins this match is going to be in the back watching that very closely, taking notes, seeing who they're going to have, who's going to stand in between them and the Hammerlock Pure Wrestling Championship as Ethan Dukes just chops the life out of Brian White.
Knife edge chop takes the breath away. And a 2 count. You know when you can get that close to a victory after a chop, you know it's got some power behind it.
Yeah, exactly. You have a game plan, you stick to it.
Shots to the ribs. Dragging Brian to his feet. He's firing quick jabs, whatever he can do to get out of this.
Almost a little bit of desperation, it seems like, from the honorable one, and Duke's there to say, not today.
Right into the clothesline. Down for the pin. You know, Dukes maybe took his time on that one, getting down for the pinfall.
That might just be the toll that this match has taken on both men. Duke's taking a second to compose himself here.
The front row here at Job Site Brewing in Stratford. Yelling at Brian White, trying to get him back to his feet. He's to his feet, but not
exactly
in a great
the
spot
position
right
he
now.
would like to be, exactly.
No. Thrown to the corner. Look out, big splash coming. Out of the way this time, though. Ducks a clothesline there, ducks another. And Brian White
just throwing his body weight with that huge shoulder tackle to Ethan Dukes.
And he is fired up. That may be the offensive move he needed to get back in this thing. Throwing Dukes, collision, center of the ring. The clothesline, 1, 2.
Just a 2 now, both men after that huge collision, looking to get back their momentum.
Scooping up the big man.
And slamming him down.
Right in the center of the ring. Brian White. The double axe handle to the chest of Ethan Dukes. 1, 2.
Just 2.
You can see that desperation. What do I have to do?
Dukes might be wondering what happened here. I was in control just a few moments ago.
Scoops up Brian himself, slips out of it, and wraps him right back up. Taking Dukes down to one knee.
Back to that modified Cobra clutch.
Dukes is in trouble. Brian giving it all he has.
You can see the life fading from Dukes, though. How much more can he take?
Hunched over, but still able to will himself